make it 6 for 6 in good ones. To Minneapolis we go with the call of tonight's game, the final play-in game of the play-in tournament. Alongside Coletta Azubuike, here's Mike Cousins.
Kevin, the answer to your question, and what a lot of people want to know, is what is this series going to look like? Fifth matchup for these teams this year. Minnesota has taken 3 of the first 4, but they haven't played since December 16th, so you expect both of these teams are going to look a little bit different. Minnesota, with the way they've structured their team, and especially what they gave up for Rudy Gobert, they need to win now. Oklahoma City had 1/10 of 1% of a chance to make the playoffs, and here they are, the second youngest team in the league, 1 victory away from taking on Denver Sunday night.
And the Thunder are gaining in confidence. That's why I'm high on the Thunder. Now I'm thinking about this game, okay, who can take care of the ball? Both teams force a lot of turnovers. The Thunder take care of it really well. They did in their first game against the Pelicans. Minnesota kind of struggled against the Lakers in that category. And you got a team in Minnesota that really protects the rim really well, and the Thunder want to drive it in there, so who wins out? And then can the Minnesota Timberwolves take advantage of their size? That's going to be incredibly important for them with Gobert, twin 7-footers in there, with Karl Anthony Towns as well. You got to watch the boards, the points in the paint, and it's going to be a fun battle. There's a buzz in this building, man.
Coletta Azubuike's keys to the game brought to you by NerdWallet, the smartest decision for all your financial decisions. Let's introduce you to the starting lineup. First, for the visiting Oklahoma City Thunder, they finished the regular season 40-42. They only won 24 games last year, the second biggest jump in the NBA wins-wise, only behind the Sacramento Kings. In the starting lineup for Oklahoma City, under head coach Mark Daigneault in his 3rd season, it begins with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You'll hear his name plenty tonight, 4th leading scorer in the NBA at 31 points a game. Along with him, the 20-year-old Josh Giddey, in his 2nd NBA season, scored 31 points with 10 assists, 9 rebounds Wednesday against New Orleans. Now, here's the confusing part about their lineup. They have 2 players named Jalen Williams, and they're both in the starting lineup. Jalen, Jalen, who went to Santa Clara, he's a rookie, a contender for Rookie of the Year, as a matter of fact. The other Jalen Williams, Jaylin, is also a rookie out of the University of Arkansas. He's very important in this game. Their biggest player in the starting lineup, 6'9", 240. And the 5th member of their starting lineup is Luguentz Dort, who has to guard Brandon Ingram Wednesday and will likely see a lot of Anthony Edwards tonight. For Minnesota, 42-40 in the regular season, led by Chris Finch in year number 2. Mike Conley is their point guard. He's in his 16th season in the NBA, 35 years old. Anthony Edwards, their leading scorer, 25 points a game. He was off on Tuesday. He scored just 9 points on 3 of 17 shooting. They'll need more from him here tonight. Karl Anthony Towns, in 2 games, just 27 points against Oklahoma City this year. Will they get more out of him in his 8th year out of Kentucky? Rudy Gobert returns from a 1-game suspension he served Tuesday in their game against Los Angeles. 3-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year. And the surprise in the Minnesota starting lineup tonight, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who's in his 24th game with Minnesota after being traded here in February. But this is his first start. And Chris Finch, their head coach, said they want to put him against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, his cousin, who he played high school basketball with. And that is your starting lineup for Minnesota. The Timberwolves take the floor, gray uniforms primarily, with Timberwolves written across the front in white, numerals in a neon green, a stripe midway down their shorts as well, and the Thunder in road orange uniforms with a block OKC written in blue across the front.
And Nickeil Walker-Alexander, or who I like to call Nah, it's Alexander Walker, N-A-W. He's going to pick up full court probably. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he just wants him to feel it. And I'm thinking about this game in clutch minutes. If this is a close game, how is Minnesota going to be better down the stretch? They really struggled against the Lakers there. And you got the Thunder, who are super confident, super mature for their ages, really poised under pressure, no turnovers. They're really good in close games.
Jalen Williams out of Arkansas against Rudy Gobert, and the 7-footer wins the tip for Minnesota. The home crowd on its feet here inside the Target Center as the Timberwolves in the front court to the left. Edwards at the high left angle, lobs to Towns, left of the lane. He dishes off into the lane. Alexander Walker, baseline, feeds to the far corner. Conley, Edwards straight away. 5 on the shot clock, guarded by Dort. Takes a dribble to his left, feeds left block, and Alexander Walker goes up with a layup off the window. 2-0 Minnesota.
He just got right inside Giddey, and they found him.
Here comes Dort left to right with a white arm sleeve on his right arm to Giddey at the high right angle, guarded by Conley in an upright stance. Giddey dribbles to the top of the key. It's taken away by Alexander Walker. He gives to Edwards. Minnesota in transition right to left. Edwards into the lane, spins, goes up. He gets double teamed, and the ball is taken away by Jalen Williams out of Arkansas. Giddey comes left to right in the far side short corner, guarded there by Towns. Your right angle, it's Dort, dribbles to the free throw line, kicks back to the right side corner. Jalen Williams on the drive into the paint. Here's to Dort, left wing. He's open for three, takes it, and rattles it through. OKC with the lead, 3-2.
He started great against the Pelicans as well, and all the driving sets up open shots for OKC.
Dort coming off 27 points, 4 of 8 from 3 on Wednesday against New Orleans on the road. Alexander Walker at the high right wing with a one-hand feed to Conley near midcourt, guarded by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. High lob to the left angle for Towns, holds with his right hand, whips it across court for Edwards. Shot fake, one dribble to his left, triple. Off the mark, the rebound by Jalen Williams, the center in this lineup for OKC. 3-2 lead for the Thunder here on the road, with a winner to take on number 1 seed Denver on Sunday night, 10 Eastern. Left of the lane, fadeaway J is good. Jalen Williams, who goes by J-Dub for OKC. They're up 5-2.
That's an interesting matchup. He's got Karl-Anthony Towns on him. He's got the quickness advantage. But Minnesota has to make them pay for putting Jalen Williams, a smaller one, on Karl-Anthony Towns down on this side.
Alexander Walker from the left corner. Shovels it into the lane. He turns it over. Dort on the break, left to right. Picked up by Towns, who plays off. Now Dort charges to the basket. Baseline, reverse lay-in is good. Help side defense was late. Towns not happy about it. Thunder up 7-2.
And again, a bigger defender on Dort. He just took advantage of it with his quickness.
9:35 to go in the first quarter. It's Oklahoma City on the road, up by 5 over Minnesota. Tip ball, Towns into the backcourt to get it. Dives to save it to Edwards, who feeds to the far right corner. Alexander Walker drives on Giddey, jumps out in the lane, kick out Conley left angle. Poked away Gilgeous-Alexander, who fouled him as the shot clock expired. Got him on the arm. Scott Foster, the crew chief, on the call, and that's the game's first foul. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander picks up number 1.
That's a sly old veteran, Mike Conley. He just got him with a little pump fake there. That's his smart. And he's so savvy there. The shot clock running down, poised under pressure. But right now, the Thunder and their quickness and their speed kind of winning out, driving. You could tell Anthony Edwards is trying to get off to a good start. He still hasn't scored yet. But Mike Conley, I love that addition to them because he is so smart and he brings that veteran leadership.
He was traded from Memphis to Minnesota as part of a 3-team deal back on February 9th. Reunited with some old teammates, Rudy Gobert, who he played with in Utah, Tyler Anderson, who he played with in Memphis, and Anderson coming off the bench tonight with Alexander Walker getting his first start.
It's a notable feat if the Minnesota Timberwolves can win this game, because it does seem to me like the Thunder are gaining confidence and the Minnesota Timberwolves are trying to have to pick themselves up after having control of that Laker game and then losing that one. Probably didn't sit well. They got to get back on it here.
Conley hits both free throws. OKC 7, Minnesota 4, with 9:15 to go in the first quarter. Thunder in the front court right in the shocking road orange jerseys. Top of the key, Gilgeous-Alexander, guarded by his cousin, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. They switch it off. Conley on defense. Left elbow jumper, and it's a fadeaway, Jay, for Gilgeous-Alexander. Good. Thunder up 9-4.
So early in the Pelicans game, they were double-teaming Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He was happy that they just switched it. He had a one defender on him. He could just go one-on-one.
Gobert in the lane, goes up, and he gets fouled as the layup falls short. Lou Dort stepped in to try and rise up against the 7-footer despite giving up 8 inches in height, but he does deny Gobert the opportunity at the rim. Instead, a chance for 2 at the line. Dort, his first foul, team second against Oklahoma City.
It's tough for Dort to climb that mountain, but it was just a really good ball screen there with Mike Conley and Gobert, and 2 defenders commit to Mike Conley, so you have to get some rotation over from the weak side, but the Thunder don't have the size coming over from the weak side to really deal with Gobert, so they had to foul him. So this is something that the Timberwolves have to do all game with one of their bigs.
at least. First free throw good for Gobert, as is the second. They've got 4 of their 6 at the free throw line. Thunder 9. Timberwolves 6, 8:43 first quarter. Dort, top of the key, front court right. Speeds down the left side of the lane. Shovels it off. Giddey right in front of the bucket, and he missed a 2-foot shot. Just too much rush on that. Here's Towns, left of the paint, driving, shooting, scores off glass as he rumbles right through Jalen Williams. 1-point game, Thunder up 9-8. Back the other way, it's Dort to the basket. Gobert and Towns in the vicinity as the whistle blows, and the foul goes against Karl Anthony Towns. That's his first and the first against Minnesota.
So this is a game within the game, right? The Thunder speed, they want to get up and down. Both teams are okay with getting up and down, but the Thunder are saying, we got to beat these bigs down the floor. You just saw the Minnesota Timberwolves score. How fast did the Thunder turn it around on them and get down the other side? So this is something that the Thunder are thinking about, and Dort's one of the guys that can get up and down the floor.
He misses the first free throw, much to the jubilation of the hometown crowd here, as it keeps it a 9-8 Thunder lead. Second is coming up, and in between free throws, Thunder head coach Mark Daigneault having a conversation with Gediminas Petraitis, the 8th-year official, figure out exactly what he wants to see. Second free throw good for Dort. Thunder 10, Timberwolves 8, 8:20 first quarter. Conley brings the ball up the floor, right to left, into a dribble handoff at a left angle for Edwards, who takes it up top, zips it back to Conley on the left wing. Looking for Towns, lobs it to him left of the lane. A double team comes, fades away, underneath Gobert, who goes up, got hit on the head, no foul, and missed the layup. Giddey pushes for the Thunder from left to right. Jalen Williams hands off to Jalen Williams, who launches a three, and the rookie out of Santa Clara misses it. Conley clears it. Minnesota looking to take the lead, down by 2. A lob to Towns from Conley, left side. Towns dribbles right through Williams and scores, tied at 10.
Okay, what did I say? Jalen Williams, a smaller one, on Karl Anthony Towns. They have to make them pay 2 times in a row. The first time they get a double team, it's good basketball. This time you get an easy score out of it.
Gilgeous-Alexander, right wing jumper is good. He was wide open and has some words for Karl Anthony Towns, who is defending him in a very loose sense there. It's the Thunder up 12-10. The other way, Conley, right side of the lane, bullies his way in against Giddey, the second-year player versus the 16-year vet, even at 12, OKC in Minnesota.
Yeah, Conley's been playing big for him lately.
Mike Conley scored 23 in their last game against L.A. Gilgeous-Alexander trapped right of the right elbow, gives it to Jordan at the high left angle. He drives, lost it. Giddey collects left block, pass to the near corner, tip. Williams is called for a travel as he poked the ball on the floor. The referee, Courtney Kirkland, in his 23rd season with the eagle eye on the baseline. And we got a timeout with 6:58 to play here at Target Center in Minneapolis.
It's going to take multiple efforts on defense for the Timberwolves, like we just saw. The Thunder are going to test them with all these drives. They're up for the challenge on that possession. They need more of that.
Chess match fully underway here in this final play-in game. 12-12 our score between Oklahoma City and Minnesota. 6:58 left in the first quarter. And you're listening to the NBA play-in tournament on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Take Mohegan Sun with you wherever you are in Connecticut, on your commute, at the shore, in the park, or at home. Your favorite casino games are now in the palm of your hand. Win real money and earn real awards by playing on the MoheganSunCasino.com app. Visit PlayMoheganSunCasino.com for today's promotions. Where do you play Mohegan? Must be 21 or older to play. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org.
Any business that wants to get to the top and stay there requires a dedicated team to implement a winning game plan. Eisner-Amper's seasoned professionals provide business advisory and consulting services such as audit, accounting, tax, HR, outsourcing, and more. Eisner-Amper business advisors help clients transform their companies, build capital, innovate processes, and mitigate risk. Whether you're in the first quarter or the fourth quarter, for industry-specific strategies that meet your needs, make Eisner-Amper part of the solution. Visit EisnerAmper.com/solution. Hey, it's Michael K. If you're looking for the ideal golf gift or a great perk for valued employees or clients, the 6-course golf sampler pack from Crystal Springs Resort in nearby northern New Jersey is the perfect find. Golfers can play one round at each of the resort's 6 courses, including New Jersey's #1 rated course, Valley Owen Golf Club, a link-style masterpiece. Discover unparalleled golf, luxury hotels, award-winning spas, 4-star dining, and more at New York City's closest resort. Learn more at thecrystalspringsresort.com.
Listen up, small business owners. This might be the most important call you'll ever make. Need help navigating through the employee retention credit? You can trust the pros at Omega Accounting Solutions. I can personally vouch for Omega. They helped me navigate this tax credit with my business. With Omega's help, you could be eligible to receive $26,000 per employee if you paid wages during COVID. All it takes is a free 10-minute consultation call with Omega to see if you qualify. Visit OmegaTaxCredits.com/BART. It worked for me. It will work for you. Call 855-411-BART now.
Kevin with you. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the NBA Play-In Tournament on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed.
It's an extra hour and a new start time. Pietro and Rothenberg.
Morning 6 to 10.
WEPN FM, New York.
Don't forget to log on to our Twitter account at NBA on ESPN Radio to vote in the AutoZone in the Zone poll question. Who's going to get in the zone for this matchup? Going to keep this one simple. Karl Anthony Towns or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? In the Zone, brought to you by AutoZone. What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? They offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. They've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone, AutoZone. We are in the opening quarter, tied at 12. Back to Target Center with Kalena. Here's Mike.
This crowd is loud early, Kevin. They're excited for this game. A lot at stake. Winner goes on to take on Denver, the #1 seed on Sunday. Loser goes home.
Minnesota exploiting matchups early. Remember in the Lakers game, got Austin Reeves and Schroeder switched on to Karl Anthony Towns. They don't take advantage of it this game, and that can actually get Anthony Edwards off, too.
Edwards at the high left wing. Timberwolves in the front court left. Conley in the near side corner. 9 to shoot. Towns puts up a 3 off the front iron. Rebound to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder.
Thunder went in the zone there. It worked. He just kind of stayed around the perimeter. Didn't get a great shot.
Gilgeous-Alexander, right elbow, kicks to the near corner. Dort open for 3, off the back rim. Rebound fought for, and down to Kyle Anderson, just off the bench for Minnesota. First sub of the game. He drives coast to coast, goes up, misses the layup, try right side. Towns with an offensive board and a stick back to give Minnesota the lead, 14-12 with 6:10 to go in the first quarter.
Cat seems determined to take advantage of his size.
Giddey drives into the lane right side. Up top, Jalen Williams out of Arkansas. Picks up his dribble right at the elbow, floats it. Gilgeous-Alexander, right short corner, backing his way in on his cousin Alexander Walker. Fadeaway, missed it, and the rebound to Minnesota. Here's Conley with a left-hand dribble across midcourt from right to left. 5:46 to go in the quarter. Timberwolves by 2. Left corner, Alexander Walker with a 3, too long. Thunder have it, and Giddey, with his hair flowing behind him, initiates the offense. Inside-out dribble on Conley, drives to the basket. Left side layup is short. Anderson grabs the rebound. Edwards in transition. Dribbles from the far sideline to the near across the free throw line and gives it back to Anderson, top of the key. Takes 2 hip-high dribbles to his right. Chest pass for Conley, who floats to the right block on Towns. And as he spins to the basket, gets called for a travel. Ball back to the Thunder with 5:18 in the opening quarter.
But it's still good basketball, even though he walked. He's got Dort on him, another small defender. They threw it to him in the post. The reason I said Anthony Edwards can get off that way, too, is because at times they'll double team. And you can get some cuts out of those double teams. So if Anthony Edwards will just play off of that, watch to see when they double team, when his defender turns his head cut, he'll get some easy baskets. He'll be able to get going. But I like the way Minnesota is thinking right now.
Timberwolves with the lead, 14-12 over the Thunder, 5:13 in the quarter. Gilgeous-Alexander pull up at the right elbow. It swirls around and out. Rebound secured, Anthony Edwards. A white undershirt underneath his gray jersey. Cross-court pass, left angle. Alexander Walker dribbles to the block. Back up top, Edwards. Step through in the lane. He scores on a finger roll. It's 16-12 Timberwolves.
That's the kind of ball movement you need. Because the ball was on the other side, his defender was in held position. Long closeout, you can just attack that.
Jalen Williams dribbles to the free throw line. Drops it off. Isaiah Joe. Jumper off the front rim. No good. He's just into the game. The first substitution for OKC. And we've got an offensive foul called on Kyle Anderson of Minnesota, setting a ball screen for Anthony Edwards. First on Anderson, second against the Timberwolves.
Lou Dort was trying to fight over that. You can tell the Timberwolves have a little momentum. They're trying to keep it, but the Thunder are working hard defensively. And Lou Dort, it's not easy to knock him over, but I'm going to say that was a little embellishment, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Timeout after the foul. 4:34 to go in the first quarter. Minnesota 16, Oklahoma City 12. This is the NBA Play-In Tournament on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Bert Scott and Alan Hahn.
Will they find a home? Four guys doing a New York show.
We always wanted to live in a chateau.
I like a certain while Jake is more into the Cape Cod style home.
It's a classic look.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Susan and Jake found a Cape Cod style home where they will only speak French.
Bonjour, je t'aime, merci beaucoup, and cordon bleu.
You'll get better with time. Bundling without compromise at Geico.com.
Wait, aren't these all charitable donations?
At Magda's Tax Prep, every person counts.
I'd rather not have to file for an extension.
She needs new auditors to maximize returns on her family time.
On itemized deduction. Hey, can someone help with these 1099s?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
O'Reilly. Protect your engine better with new Syntec Full Synthetic High Mileage Motor Oil only at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec High Mileage is formulated for today's engines with over 75,000 miles. Now get 5 quarts of Syntec High Mileage and a MicroGuard Select oil filter for just $34.99. Limits apply. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Remember college? Early morning classes, all-night study sessions, and somewhere in there, maybe even a social life. 5-Hour Energy got you through. Now, you've got responsibilities, work, bills, a family. 5-Hour Energy is still here with the same alert, energized feeling you relied on back then. Every day, 5-Hour Energy helps millions just like you be at their best when it really matters. Rediscover 5-Hour Energy. We'll get you through again. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
Inside our Granger Studios, start your mornings with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max each and every weekday morning beginning at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. They're followed by Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Tomorrow afternoon at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, we begin our first round coverage of the 2023 NBA playoffs. We have the Knicks and the Cavaliers Game 1, all told on the ESPN family of networks tomorrow between ESPN and ABC. We have a quadruple header, 4 games. It starts at 1. First 3 games are on ESPN. Warriors and Kings are on ABC at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. The NBA Play-In Tournament on ESPN Radio is presented by Indeed. Attract, interview, and hire at Indeed.com/credit. 4:34 to go in the opening quarter. T-Wolves on a bit of a run. They lead by 4. Back to Target Center with Kalena Azubuike. Here's Mike Cousins.
Well, here's the size advantage for Minnesota. Of their scoring total right now, 16, they've got 12 points in the paint. Oklahoma City has 12 points total.
I was just thinking about that. Neither team is relying on the 3-ball much. And the Thunder are trying to drive it, but the rim protection of Minnesota is winning out a little bit there. But the Timberwolves have the right mentality.
12-3 run right now by the Timberwolves to take this 4-point lead. 4.5 to go first quarter. Out of the timeout, Oklahoma City ball. They attack the right side basket. Dario Saric just into the game, gives them some size. He's got it top of the key, puts up a 3, and it's around and out. Dort fighting for the rebound. A tie-up. Gilgeous-Alexander rips it away from Alexander Walker, his cousin. Top of the key, shot clock at 20. He drives to the right elbow. Shot fake, kicks out. Jalen Williams, high left wing triple in the air and good. Left him wide open there on his 22nd birthday, and he hits the 3, make it a 1-point game.
Let's watch second chance points. The Thunder are the 8th best team in the league in offensive rebounding. They'll look to get some extra possessions that way.
Alexander Walker angled left. Up top for Towns. Guarded by Dort. Quick double team. Out. Gilgeous-Alexander to the top of the key. Alexander Walker well off on a 3. Only hit the backboard and wide left. Dort driving left side to the basket, puts it off the glass, no good. Rebound down to Anthony Edwards, looking to get going. He's to the basket, and a finger roll right at the rim for Anthony Edwards.
That's a good way for him to get going in transition, fast break.
Back the other way, Isaiah Joe hits a three. He's the best three-point shooter percentage-wise on this OKC roster. We're even at 18, 3:10 first quarter.
They turn it around so fast on him, don't they? The counterattacks are real.
Thunder right back down the floor. Anderson in the lane, falls away, scores, and he's fouled as he hits the deck of the free throw line.
They call him slow-mo, but he was quick enough to get in the paint there and had the concentration to finish. He's just so efficient with his movement. A guy that understands how to play. No, his athleticism isn't going to jump out at you, but he knows how to get to his spots. When he does have little size, he's got floaters, all the different flip shots in the paint. He's great at all those. And he shoots the three ball well, even though he doesn't shoot it a bunch. You have to respect that, and so you're not going to gap him a ton and just give him a ton of space to shoot it. So the fact that you're a little closer to him makes it a little easier for him to drive.
41% from three for the ninth year Timberwolves out of UCLA. Ninth year in the league, first year with Minnesota. Hits the free throw, so he gets all three. Minnesota 21, Oklahoma City 18. In the lane, Gilgeous-Alexander goes up, and he's hit on the arm. He missed that 13-foot jumper, but he goes to the stripe.
He's got so many moves. The initial move on the perimeter with a little crossover, hesitation, and then just turn the burners on, firing his way into the paint. That made the defender lunge at him. He has the advantage on him. But he's so good at getting the free throw line. He drives more than any other player in the league. Any other player in the league, he shoots more free throws than any other player in the league off drive. That's his game.
He made the first free throw. The foul on Jordan McLaughlin just into the game. His first. Second free throw good as well against the Thunder within one. 21-20. 2:57 and counting in the first quarter as McLaughlin brings it across a midcourt stripe from right to left. Shares up top for Anderson, who feeds to McLaughlin left block, looking to share it to Gobert in the lane. It's taken away. Saric into the lane, pushing full court. Home crowd wants to travel. They don't get it. And Oklahoma City cycles it back outside the three-point arc. 10 to shoot. Gilgeous-Alexander with a three. Front rim backboard no good. And McLaughlin swoops in for the Minnesota rebound. Timberwolves by one. 21-20 inside 2.5 in the quarter. Feed to Gobert under the basket. Ball is stripped away out of bounds, and it's a foul. A hard arm coming down from Gilgeous-Alexander, and that's his second foul of the first quarter.
Again, Minnesota's mentality. Gobert was the first guy down, which is incredible, and Shai Gilgeous was on him. And they saw him right away. They're wasting no time trying to exploit these matchups. This is a totally different mindset than we saw against the Lakers.
A great approach here from Chris Finch, the Timberwolves head coach. His team led by as many as 15 in that game against LA on Tuesday and lost. Anderson, right corner, wide open, takes the three, and why not? Timberwolves 24, Thunder 20.
You talked about his three-point shooting percentage. He's almost 42%. He had plenty of time there.
Mark Dayton calls 12 flat. Pass goes to the left corner. Saric three off the heel of the iron. Rebound for Edwards in Minnesota. He takes a left-hand dribble into the front court. Puts up a long three off the mark. Perhaps him looking to get going there. He's 0 of 2 from distance.
It's a tough shot.
From left to right in the far corner, Lindy Waters three. Missed it. Gets his own rebound. Free throw line. Dribbles in the paint and then gets called for an offensive foul.
He just wiped out McLaughlin. So the only reason he got the offensive rebound is because Anthony Edwards contested and was totally out of the play. He was somewhere in the stands trying to find his way back, so he got the offensive rebound, then went to hand it off, just couldn't stop his body momentum.
He was handing it off to Isaiah Joe in the near side corner, and like you said, he obliterated Anderson, who is listed at 5'9", which may be generous. Certainly the shortest player on the floor.
Yeah, McLaughlin, I'm just surprised he's not concussed.
So he's got it down the left side of the lane on the dribble. Goes up and is immediately rejected by Isaiah Joe. Short across midcourt, a momentary 5-on-4. Joe for three. Off back rim, and he secures the offensive board at the right block against Gobert. Now he's got it up top, the free throw line. Jumper, no. Dort offensive rebound, left block. Shovels it out left wing to Joe. Top of the key. Waters is good on the three. Thunder within one, 24-23. Minnesota with a minute to go in the first quarter.
A 6-second chance point. Well, you would think that the Minnesota Timberwolves would be able to handle the defensive glass, but not so far.
They're a little bit smaller right now with no Towns on the floor. Anderson floats to the left block. It's swatted by Gilgeous-Alexander, who's got the 2 first quarter fouls. Out of bounds on the baseline left. 9 to shoot as McLaughlin will inbound left of the basket on the baseline. We've got Gobert on the block. Edwards cuts to the basket. Prince comes to the near corner, gets it, puts up a 3, and misses it long. The loose ball belongs to Oklahoma City. 40 seconds left in the quarter.
They can go 2 for 1 if they want to.
Gilgeous-Alexander slow as he comes across midcourt, driving on Edwards to the right elbow. Turns to the free throw line, tries to back his way down. Spins, fades, shoots. And the ball tips off the rim. Dort had it momentarily. McLaughlin fighting for it on the baseline. Lost it out of bounds. And it'll stay with Oklahoma City. And now 25.9 to shoot. And the shot clock at 24. As Mark Daignault, the Thunder head coach, wants more offense out there and brings Josh Giddey quickly back into the game.
That's the matchup we wanted to see. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander against Anthony Edwards. They're on each other right now. Pretty good defense, but Thunder all over the glass offensively.
Shot clock resets. 14 seconds for Oklahoma City. Giddey flings it in. He finds Waters at the right angle. Dribble handoff to Giddey near corner. Dribbles into the lane, and it's taken away by Edwards. He drives right to left to the basket. The ready layup from the left side, no good. Gobert fighting for the rebound, no foul. And Gilgeous-Alexander controls for the Thunder. 10 seconds. They've got it in the front court right. Down by 1, 24-23. A left-hand dribble near midcourt, guarded by Prince. Crossover dribble to his left, at the left elbow. Bounce pass far corner, and the first quarter comes to a close. A bad possession. They don't get a shot off, and they trail by 1, 24-23 at the end of the first quarter.
Hard-fought, close game. It looked like it could be that way throughout, but the Minnesota has the right mentality, trying to go inside, but the Thunder aren't going to go away easy.
OKC jumped out to the early lead. Minnesota went on a 12-3 run, and it's the Timberwolves up 24-23 at the end of the first quarter. This is the NBA play-in tournament on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Scott the Scots here. Do you hear that? Bring the mic in close. That's not how the grass should sound. There's weeds everywhere in this lawn. It's time to take action with Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action. It gets 3 jobs done at once. Kills weeds, prevents crabgrass, and feeds your lawn so it keeps growing strong. Ah, much better.
Get a bag of Scott's Triple Action today. It's guaranteed, or your money back.
Feed your lawn. Feed it.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Pennzoil Platinum can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $37.99. Get started on your next job today with the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Nerds. At NerdWallet, we often see people blocked when making financial decisions. Take Harold.
Coach, these credit card offers, they're everywhere.
Harold, look, it's tough out there, but you have got this. With NerdWallet on your team, you will make the smartest play with side-by-side comparisons of top credit cards.
Whoa, a card that rewards me for buying sports gear. Let's go get that cash back, team.
NerdWallet, the smartest decision for all your financial decisions. Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster. No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing.
But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Kevin Richard with you inside our Granger Studios. End of one quarter here at the NBA on ESPN Radio. And Minnesota leads Oklahoma City 24-23. No one has more than 6 points. One of those players is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Tonight's player resume brought to you by Indeed. Need to hire? You need Indeed.com/credit. Drafted 11th overall out of Kentucky by the Hornets. Traded to the Clippers. Yes, he was also flipped from the Clippers to the Thunder in the Paul George trade. And it may turn out Oklahoma City got the better of the deal. Thunder trail by 1, 24-23. 3 quarters to find out who's the 8 seed. Back to Target Center with Kalena Azubuike. Here's Mike Cousins.
Well, the Clippers are in the playoffs. The Thunder not quite yet.
Not yet.
They've got to win this one to be the number 8 seed, take on Denver. Kalena, Thunder started the first quarter 4 of 4, and they finished 4 of 19. What changed?
Yeah, they struggled there. It was just the defense for Minnesota. They keep trying to drive it, and Minnesota's winning out at the rim with their size. The 3-ball did help them kind of keep contact in that first quarter, and that was set up by all the drives as well.
Thunder control on the right side. Williams feeds Šarić in the lane. A shot fake. And his shot is good from about 5 feet. Puts the Thunder in front, 25-24. 30 seconds into the second quarter. Here's Conley across midcourt. The Howling Wolf logo. Gives it up to Towns just inside the top of the key. His 2 is good. And it's Minnesota up by 1.
Here's Jalen Williams on again, just using his size, got into his body, got easy separation.
Isaiah Joe, right angle, guarded by Conley. Bounce feed to his left. Šarić swings it up, gets it back top of the key. Šarić from the right angle to the free throw line. Bounce feed, right side short corner. Jumper no good for Aaron Wiggins, who's into the game for the first time here to start the second quarter. High right angle. Conley off for Towns to his left. Guarded there by Isaiah Joe. It's a mismatch size-wise no matter what. Towns drives, shoots, scores.
So Towns is okay with taking advantage of his size from the perimeter. He's got Isaiah Joe on him. Isaiah Joe should be able to move his feet and keep him from getting by him. But Karl-Anthony Towns trusts his ability to use his footwork, get a little closer to the basket without charging, get something easier.
10 now for Karl-Anthony Towns. Minnesota up by 3, 28-25. Wiggins, left block, delivers to the top of the key. Shot fake Joe, drives to the free throw line and gets called for the offensive foul. The call there, the NBA put out a video on this on Twitter this week about deviating from your natural path as a driver. He flared out to his left, put his body into the defender, and that's why it's an offensive foul.
And Minnesota has upped their defensive intensity, clearly. They're moving their feet, and that's why they had to do extra. Got that offensive foul.
Towns left of the lane, drives on Williams, floats it up, shot no good as he falls to the deck. Here come the Thunder in transition, left to right. Giddey at the right angle. Left hand cross-court pass to the far side. Joe, his triple, off the rim and no good. Towns clears the rebound. The outlet feed to Conley going right to left. Minnesota by 3, 28-25. Conley to Gobert. Left angle, gets it back. One dribble to his right, pull up 3, pure. Minnesota 31, Oklahoma City 25, and Mark Daignault wants a Thunder timeout.
Conley has stayed in rhythm since that Laker game. Just a little two-man game with Gobert. Got that handoff, lost his defender with a little fake, and he's feeling really good about himself, and he should be.
Timberwolves paced by Towns with 10, and Conley is now up to 7. We got 9:51 to go second quarter. Minnesota 31, Oklahoma City 25. You're listening to the NBA Play-In Tournament on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Hi, I'm attorney John D'Agostino. If you've been injured, you need a lawyer who knows what you're going through. I understand how one accident can turn your whole world upside down. I've been there. As a kid, I played a lot of ball on these streets, and I always played to win. As a lawyer, I make sure my clients know they're getting a winner. Have you been told your case is a loser? Give me a shot. I'm a fighter. Someone who's going to swing for the fences to get you the money you deserve. I've been there. I now run D'Agostino & Associates, a personal injury law firm I built right here in New York and New Jersey. For over 30 years, D'Agostino & Associates has been helping accident victims get every dollar they deserve. We've recovered millions of dollars for people just like you. Call now, 888-24-LAW-24. D'Agostino & Associates, a personal injury law firm that offers free consultation. And if you can't make it to us, we're going to come to you. I've been there. Call now, 888-24-LAW-24. 888-24-LAW-24. D'Agostino Law, fight back.
Take Mohegan Sun with you wherever you are in Connecticut, on your commute, at the shore, in the park, or at home. Your favorite casino games are now in the palm of your hand. Win real money and earn real awards by playing on the MoheganSunCasino.com app. Visit PlayMoheganSunCasino.com for today's promotions. Where do you play Mohegan? Must be 21 or older to play. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org.
To hit a home run, everything needs to line up perfectly. No different than finding the person you want to marry. When the time comes to propose, do what I did. Visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers. They'll make shopping for a ring easy and help you hit it out of the park. Let them help you pick or design the perfect ring to fit any budget from their 2 by London collection. London Jewelers is committed to getting it just right. So visit London Jewelers today at any of their 7 locations, including the newest location at the mall at Short Hills. Mention I told you to stop by, and you'll get the Michael K. treatment.
Kevin with you inside our Granger Studios.
Jimmy Butler fittingly will dribble this out. Butler with 31 points alongside Max Strus's 31 points. Miami wins it and is headed for the postseason. They will be the number 8 seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs, and they will make their 12th playoff appearance in the last 15 years under Eric Spoelstra. It's off to Milwaukee for Miami.
That will be on Sunday inside the numbers for Game 1 of our doubleheader, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. The Heat outscore the Bulls, Mike and Kalena, 15-1 in the final 3 minutes. That'll end your season. Miami moves on. Chicago goes home. Same situation. Back to you guys in Minnesota.
That is a painful way for things to come to a close. And we remind you, full NBA coverage with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max weekday mornings, 6 to 10 Eastern, followed by Greeny with Mike Greenberg until noon on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. We are back underway, 9:45, second quarter, Minnesota by 6, 31-25. Oklahoma City called that timeout, and out of that timeout, they turn it over. Cross-court pass from Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara through the hands of Dario Saric along the far sideline, and it's Minnesota ball.
That's their 6th turnover. Normally, the Thunder don't turn it over as much. They're 5th best in the league at that.
Timberwolves in the gray in the front court left. They've got Conley, Towns, Anderson, Gobert, and Prince on the floor. Anderson, left of the lane, up to Conley, top of the key. One dribble to his left, gives it to Towns, left of the lane. He's got 5 to shoot. Takes one dribble, spins left to the basket, wildly floats it up. Oh, how did that go in? Off the window and in, and a foul as well.
So you got a 7-footer that's that skilled with Wiggins on him. Why wouldn't you go in the post and let him go to work, expose small defenders down there? Jalen Williams came over to double team him. That's why he spun away from him, and his prayer was answered. But he's got that kind of skill. Let him go to work.
Foul is on Aaron Wiggins, his first, and Towns eyes the free throw line, perhaps with some disbelief like the rest of this crowd that shot went in, and his free throw is good. Minnesota 34, Oklahoma City 25, the largest lead of the night for the Timberwolves, here with 9:13 in the second quarter.
Timberwolves are just pounding him inside right now.
Jalen Williams on the drive. He's fouled as his layup is no good from the right side. The rookie out of Santa Clara, 12th overall pick this year by Oklahoma City, contender for Rookie of the Year, right there along with Paolo Banchero at the stripe right side for 2 with his team down by 9.
I like J-Dub too, but he's thinking, well, okay, you can expose us on one side, but if you put Karl Anthony Towns on me, I'm going to use my quickness against him and get to the basket. So the game within the game is apparent right now.
Williams hits the free throw. Saric goes to the bench as Jalen Williams from Arkansas comes out. And there goes Wiggins to the bench as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the leading scorer for this team, 4th leading scorer in the NBA, is back on the floor for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, Jalen Williams, during the draft, he heard his name called and his family went crazy. And they're like, oh, you got drafted. And he's like, no, that's not me.
Not me.
That's not me. But his family should celebrate him because he's going to have a long career, the one from Arkansas I'm talking about.
Second free throw is no good. It's Minnesota 34, Oklahoma City 26. Inside 9 minutes to go in the quarter. Towns from the left side. Dribbles, double team, fades away, shoots, falls to the deck. The shot no good, no foul. Giddey pushing left to right to the basket. He drives, lays it up and in with the right hand and scores. He turns to the official going, where's my foul? They're letting him play. 34-28 Minnesota.
They are relentless going to the basket. Just went straight into his defender's chest.
Anderson from the top of the key lobs to Towns underneath. Pass taken away. Williams. It's Giddey in transition. His shot swatted by Anderson off the backboard, and it caroms out of bounds. Last touch by Minnesota with 8:28 before the half.
Anderson just tracked him perfectly, and that was precision to get that block, but the reason they turned it over was the Timberwolves are trying to do the same thing. You got a small defender, Jalen Williams, as Anthony Edwards comes in the game. Dort comes in the game for the Thunder. They had a small defender down low, and they're trying to throw it over the top, but Jalen Williams fronted him perfectly and was able to get the steal. Now they're off and running.
Of note for Edwards, who said he was fine after the game Wednesday. And the inbound comes to Joe. He just came off the bench, Anthony Edwards did, for Minnesota, wearing 2 large braces, one on each knee. Perhaps a heating and cooling element to those as well.
He's a little banged up.
Right wing, Dort with a triple. Off the iron, Towns skies for the rebound and gives it up to Edwards, pushing right to left. Dort guards Edwards, gives it off to Anderson, who takes the dribble past Giddey to the basket, hits to the near side corner, Prince with a 3. Around and out, no good. Edwards, offensive rebound. Stick back is there. 36-28 Timberwolves.
Anthony Edwards needs to do that more, looking for easy opportunities. He relies on tough shots as Shai Gilgeous misses a layup.
At the right side basket, it was right there, just too much on it as it danced off the back of the rim. Edwards dribbles to the free throw line, backs it out of the left side. Timberwolves control the ball. Front court left, 10 on the shot clock. Edwards, Alexander Walker in the paint. They kick it out. Far corner. Anderson open for 3. Good.
Well, that's just off Anthony Edwards' double team. He was aggressive. The double team came. He got rid of it. The ball movement, open shot in the corner.
Gilgeous Alexander drives to the paint, missed another layup, but a foul goes against Minnesota on the rebound. Stops the clock at 7:20 to go, and the foul goes against Taurean Prince, his first.
It was Jalen Williams flying in to get the offensive rebound. And he wanted it on the shot because he felt like he was trying to go back up with it, but they're going to have to take it out of bounds.
Giddey, quick inbounds. Isaiah Joe puts up a 3 and missed it. Look of disappointment from Giddey, who thought he had tricked the defense there with a quick inbounds pass to his best three-point shooting teammate.
They were asleep. Couldn't make him pay, though.
Sprint to the right angle, puts it on the deck, has it swatted away. Jalen Williams, loose ball. Isaiah Joe at midcourt on the far sideline. Edwards poked it, but out of bounds. And the Timberwolves say it was off of Oklahoma City, but the officials say it was off of Minnesota.
Anthony Edwards wants him to challenge. It did look like from this angle that it went off of Anthony Edwards, but the crowd just saw the replay. That's off of Isaiah Joe's foot for sure. They're going to challenge it.
Well, they had the benefit of the entire crowd seeing the replay.
Out of bounds.
That was definitely off of Isaiah Joe's foot.
So they're going to take a look at that. Timeout with 7 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Timberwolves 39 and the Thunder 28. This is the NBA Play-In Tournament on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
The all-new NBA app is happening and has you covered from coast to coast. With live tip-offs at your fingertips and highlights right as they happen. Catch every can't-miss moment before, during, and after the game. And behind the scenes like you've never seen. All access, all the time. All in one app. Because if it's happening in the new NBA app. So get the app today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts provides more than just the right parts for your repair. Our professional parts people can also offer free check engine light diagnosis. We can scan your vehicle and provide a list of possible fixes. Find the right parts for you or recommend a great local repair shop. Don't ignore your check engine light. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When you bundle your renters and auto insurance with Progressive, you could save money, but it doesn't cover any terrible memories living rent-free in your head.
Remember when one of your best players got injured, but not like on a play or anything? He got injured celebrating a play, and it's not like it was a game-winning play or in the playoffs, and he was out the rest of the season because he was injured while celebrating? Yeah.
Sorry, we can't save you from that memory, but we could save you money bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Renters insurance and bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Broken bricks, falling fences, damaged doors, Gorilla Glue. Of course.
It's incredibly strong and 100% waterproof and bonds, well, virtually everything. While you're at it, look for Gorilla Tape, a heavy-duty double-thick duct tape, and Gorilla Super Glue, great for all your quick fixes and repairs. There's also Gorilla Epoxy, Gorilla Wood Glue, Gorilla Construction Adhesive, of course. You get it. If you can break it, Gorilla can fix it. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
You're with you inside our Granger Studios. Coming up on the AutoZone halftime report, we'll let you hear from Jimmy Butler and Max Strus. Each dropping 31. Miami advances to be the 8th seed in the East. We'll also look ahead to the Warriors and Sacramento Kings first-round matchup. We're going back to Target Center. 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. Minnesota by 11. As you go back to Mike Cousins and Kalena Azubuike. Kalena, Minnesota challenged here. Are you okay with using your challenge 5 minutes into the second quarter?
I am. It's interesting. I was just thinking about that. To me, it's all about keeping your momentum right now. The Timberwolves are playing extremely well. They want to keep it going, and it's also about backing up your star player. You see how adamantly Anthony Edwards was fighting for their bench, for Chris Spence to do something, twirling his fingers. He just knew it was off of Isaiah Joe's foot. So you keep your momentum, you back up your superstar. Yeah, you don't have it in the end if it's a close game. That may come back to bite you, but hey, they're playing well right now. They want to keep it going. But you got to balance all that as a coach, right? Your star is sure that it wasn't off him. And how do you kind of, okay, we want to save this, but I want to do something about it. So I think he shows right. I'm okay with it.
I'm with you. They've got their largest lead of the night right now at 11 points. 39-28, 6:55 to go. End the ball. It's Edwards at the angle right, working in the front court left side. Edwards between the circles, 10 on the timer, takes a ball screen left from Prince, down the left side of the paint. Cross-court kick, Towns, one dribble in, and he's fouled on the way up. A blocking foul against Oklahoma City with 6 on the shot clock.
And now you're trying to capitalize on this possession and thank your coach for challenging and coming up with a successful challenge, and it was perfect. Anthony Edwards was aggressive. He got the switch off that ball screen, took him deep in the paint, threatening drive, and instead of just sitting out by the three-point line, Karl-Anthony Towns cut. As soon as that defender turns his head, you cut, and you know there's a shift in the defense. Everybody's going to be focused on Anthony Edwards. See if you can get closer to the basket. Don't just rely on the three ball and settle. You're huge. You're the biggest human being, one of the biggest human beings. Your teammate's a little bigger, Gobert. So why not take advantage of that as he made the first free throw? Get to the rim. Get as close to the rim as you can.
He makes the first free throw. 40-28, Minnesota in the lead. Towns with a game-high 14. He eyes the rim. His right-handed free throw is up and good. 15 for Towns. 41-28, Minnesota over Oklahoma City. And you've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Lou Dort, 2 starters for OKC, each with 2 fouls here in the first half. Left side corner, Jalen Williams, a much-needed 3 there for Oklahoma City, the rookie out of Santa Clara. First draft pick out of that school since Steve Nash in 1996. Makes it a 10-point game, 41-31.
That's massive because the Thunder don't want to lose contact. They're in danger of that.
Anderson to the top of the key, behind the back dribble, inside out dribble, spins on Williams, scoops with the right, around the rim and in. It drops home. 43-31 Timberwolves.
Anderson's got that slow handle, counter move. That little spin move at the end was pretty sweet.
Gobert and Conley waiting to check in for the Timberwolves at the next whistle. Jalen Williams for Oklahoma City. 3 from the left angle is no good for Lindy Waters, the second-year pro out of Oklahoma State.
Waters took himself out of rhythm. He had plenty of time.
Edwards, right of the lane, floats and scores just above the right block. Anthony Edwards, slow start. He's 4 of 8 from the floor with 8 points now. Minnesota up by 14. 5.5 to go in the quarter. Jalen Williams steps back, drills another 3 with some words for Karl-Anthony Towns, who appears to be holding his left arm in a position of pain. He is grimacing right now, standing in the far side corner, staying out of the play. Prince drives from the top of the key, down the left side of the lane, floats it short. Rebound to Williams. He pushes 1-on-2 to the basket. Left side layup, no good, but he's fouled. Alexander Walker and Edwards were in the vicinity. We'll see who gets the call here, and it does go against Nickeil Alexander-Walker of Minnesota, his first. 5:07 to go, second quarter, and the Timberwolves lead 45-34.
You can see the Thunder are thinking about getting back in this game They're making a push before halftime, and they're thinking their push has to be right now. And Jalen Williams getting out in transition. Both teams love to play fast. They're both top 10 in pace, but especially in this game with the bigs as Karl-Anthony Towns comes out. He's just, that left arm, wrist,
I think it's his hand or his wrist. He was just holding it between his legs and still is grimacing as he walks off to the bench to our left. First free throw good from Jalen Williams.
And he's walking straight to the locker room. He didn't even stop at the bench.
So that's not a good sign there for Minnesota. Towns with a game-high 15, 6 of 9 from the floor.
Oh, there's an ominous feel here in this building now. That is massive.
45-35, Minnesota the lead. Second free throw coming here for J-Dub. Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara. He makes both and gets back on defense with his team down 9, 45-36. Mike Conley brings the ball up the floor for Minnesota. This Timberwolves team has lost 19 games after leading by double digits this year, tied for the most in the NBA. So no lead is safe. Left side wing, Alexander Walker. A rainbow three is good. And it's 48-36 Minnesota as Alexander Walker has 5. Jalen Williams at the top of the key.
Just a push-off.
He gets called for the offensive foul. That's his first.
Torian Prince. Karl-Anthony Towns just walked back in. He's sitting on the bench. That's good news for Minnesota. But there's just a little push-off there, a little chicken wing arm extension. That just made me hungry.
Well, you're 4:35 away from getting a snack at halftime. 48-36, Minnesota on top of Oklahoma City. The winner takes on Denver, the number 1 seed in the playoffs starting Sunday. Edwards misses a right side lay-in. Gobert boxed out by Jalen Williams. The other Jalen Williams down the floor, spins at the lane, has it stripped. Conley is up with it. At the right angle, feeds Gobert, running to the basket. Foul there by Gilgeous-Alexander, and if it is on him, that's his third. Indeed it is. So Gobert missed the shot attempt, but goes to the line to shoot a pair.
And Gobert showing that he can run the floor a little bit. It was definitely a foul on the arm. Otherwise, it would have been an easy dunk, but that's one of those good fouls for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Make him earn it at the line. And he shoots a much better percentage right in front of the rim with his dunks than he does at the free throw line.
64% at the line for Rudy Gobert. A 30-year-old, 3-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year in his first season with Minnesota after spending his first 9 with Utah. And the first free throw is no good.
But one thing Mark Daigneault has to be telling his guys, there's no way Gobert should be beating us down the floor. Why is he open running down the floor? We have the speed advantage and the quickness advantage. So it's all about getting back in transit. Transition defense is going to be important in this game. With the pace these two teams like to play at, we've seen how fast it's been going, up and down, head-turning action like you're watching a tennis match.
0 for 2 for Gobert. Gilgeous-Alexander gets the rebound. He's got 3 fouls, 4 minutes to go in the half, and his team down 12. Long 2 straight away. He cans that. Gilgeous-Alexander now has 8. He is just 3 of 9 from the floor.
No screen there. He just gets easy separation by acting like he's about to drive, getting into the body, and then stepping back.
Timberwolves by 10. Conley between the circles. Takes the ball screen right. Now ball screen left. And shares it off to Edwards. 7 to shoot. Ball screen left, Gobert. Edwards on the drive. Push off. Fadeaway jumper. Off the front rim. One-handed rebound, Luke Dort for OKC. It's Gilgeous-Alexander left to right. Gets his way into the right elbow. Shot fakes against his cousin, Alexander Walker. Shovel out Jalen Williams. Gets it right back. 10 on the timer. Gilgeous-Alexander on the drive. Sweeping crossover at the right elbow. Shot fakes, leans in to the basket. Shot try, no good. Out of bounds. And it's Minnesota ball with 3:19 to go before the break.
They've done a pretty good job on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He had to make a ton of moves there, counter moves, and it still didn't work. You got to give credit to Nickeil Alexander-Walker and really the whole Minnesota Timberwolves team. They're super focused on him, collapsing on him when he drives.
Timberwolves by 10. 48-38, 3:10 to go in the first half. Winner goes on to the playoffs. The loser's season is over. Edwards at the left block, dishes to the near side corner. Anderson open for 3. He missed it, too much on it. Jalen Williams, Jay Will, the rebound. Oklahoma City down 10. Good news for them is They have been comeback machines this year. As many leads as Minnesota's given up. Thunder have won 17 games after trailing by 10 or more this year. Most in the league. Lou Dort misses a left side lay-in. 3-on-3 back the other way. A lob for Gobert under the basket. He stuffs it on the feed from Anderson.
Again, Gobert just beating people down the floor.
He may not be fast, but he's got long strides, and he's getting back, running right to the rim every single time. That's been the key. Giddey from the left wing gets stuck in the short corner, goes up, rejected from behind by Conley. Giddey saved it. Williams up top, triple, and that goes home for the rookie out of Arkansas.
He's one of their best three-point shooters, too. He reminds me of a Bobby Portis. He can really stretch the floor. He's solid defensively. He leads the league in charges drawn.
Two former Razorbacks there in that conversation. 50-41, Timberwolves. Shot fake, Alexander Walker, long and a three. Giddey the rebound. Giddey's playing time somewhat curtailed here in the first half. Just 14 minutes with 1:51 to go in the first half. He gives it off to Lou Dort, who sweeps through with a reverse lay-in at the right end to make it 50-43 Timberwolves.
It happened because of that Giddey drive. Dort's defender just turned his head. As soon as he did, he cut.
Towns ready to come back in at the next whistle for Minnesota. Edwards, cross court, rainbow pass, triple in the air. Alexander Walker missed it. Gobert, rebound. He missed the lay-in try. It's swatted away from him on an offensive rebound. And it's Gilgeous-Alexander pushing left to right into the lane. Right side, floating try off the mark. Gilgeous-Alexander just 3 of 11 from the floor. Alexander Walker back the other way. Left side layup in transition. And it's 52-43 Timberwolves.
The counterattacks with these two teams are ridiculous. Happens so fast.
Minnesota giving Oklahoma City a taste of its own medicine. Alexander Walker pokes it away from Giddey. Takes the ball screen from Wiggins between the circles. Jalen Williams to Gilgeous-Alexander up top. 3 to shoot. And Gilgeous-Alexander fouled on a reach-in by Kyle Anderson, his second personal, and that really bailed out Gilgeous-Alexander, who did not have a good look at the basket.
Oh, I thought SGA, as soon as he saw Kyle Anderson switched onto him, he was like, great news. Finally, Nickeil Alexander-Walker is not on me. I can use my quickness against the slower Anderson.
Giddey inbounds to our right in front of his own bench, and another whistle as Alexander Walker got tied up with Gilgeous-Alexander.
So he's just trying to be physical with his cousin.
That's number 2. Those two guys now playing against each other for the 7th time in their NBA careers. They were high school teammates.
Thunder in the bonus right now.
So it's Gilgeous-Alexander to the line. High school teammates together in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Wow, there's some familiarity there. Yep. You can see it.
Gilgeous-Alexander hits the first free throw. They went separate ways for college. Gilgeous-Alexander to Kentucky, spent 1 year there, and Alexander Walker played 2 years at Virginia Tech before heading off to the draft.
Well, he's got SGA's respect, and SGA knows where with most guys he may have to throw 2 moves at him. But with Alexander Walker, he's got to throw like 4 or 5.
The free throws make it 52-45. Minnesota, they're at the left end. Conley angled left. Dribbling in on Wiggins. Across the paint, puts it up with the right end, scores. A savvy veteran move from Mike Conley, who's got 9, and the lead is back up to 9 for the Timberwolves. Here comes OKC. Gilgeous-Alexander slicing to the lane. Floats it with the right. Missed it. Follow jam. Aaron Wiggins stuffs it through. 54-47 and 1 shot clock. Time of play left. 26 seconds on the game clock. 24 to shoot. And the Timberwolves can really hold for the last shot here if they want. They'll take a lead into the locker room just by how much? Currently at 7. Conley dribbling near midcourt. Bounces left, Gobert. Sprints to come back and get it. He holds it at the free throw line. Passes right angle. Edwards, a three is good. Anthony Edwards with a triple with 7.1 to go in the first half. Timberwolves by 10. It's Gilgeous-Alexander for the Thunder. Floating to Giddey left wing. 1 to shoot. He puts up a shot before the buzzer. No good off the front iron. And at the half, here at Target Center in Minneapolis, it's the Timberwolves 57 and the Thunder 47.
Anthony Edwards knocking down that last 3. You heard this place erupt. They want him to carry that momentum into the second half. He had a much better half here than he did the first half against the Lakers. So getting him going and unlocking him so he can play well down the stretch is going to be massive for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Towns with a game-high 15 for Minnesota. And Jalen Williams, the rookie out of Santa Clara, with an Oklahoma City high 14. 57-47. Timberwolves in the lead at the end of the first. Now let's send it to Kevin Winter in the studio with the AutoZone halftime report.
Mike and Coletta, what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? They offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. They've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Coletta said it. Much different first half from Anthony Edwards, and he's right, that eruption at the end of the first half. When he knocked down that triple to give the 10-point lead to the Timberwolves. 11 points for Anthony Edwards, far cry from what he did 3 nights ago against the Los Angeles Lakers. Minnesota by 10 for the winner to be the 8th seed in the West. Up next on the AutoZone halftime report, we'll look back at game 1 of our doubleheader. Miami is the 8th seed in the East. We'll let you hear how they got it done. We'll let you hear from Max Strus and Jimmy Butler. This is the NBA Play-In Tournament on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app.
Scott for Scott's here. Do you hear that? Bring the mic in close. That's not how the grass should sound. There's weeds everywhere in this lawn. It's time to take action with Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action. It gets 3 jobs done at once. Kills weeds, prevents crabgrass, and feeds your lawn so it keeps growing strong. Ah, much better.
Get a bag of Scott's Triple Action today. It's guaranteed, or your money back.
Feed your lawn. Feed it.
There's no better place to get in on the MLB action than FanDuel. Just go to FanDuel.com/play to sign up. FanDuel, official partner of Major League Baseball.
21 plus in select states. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Tennessee, and Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-522-4700 or visit KESGamblingHelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is the NBA Play-In Tournament on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
3-on-3 back the other way. Lob for Gobert into the basket. He stops it on the feed from Anderson.
Again, Gobert just beating people down the floor.
Welcome back, Rudy Gobert, after the one-game suspension here on the AutoZone halftime report, brought to you by the makers of 5-Hour Energy. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com. Minnesota once led by 14. Their lead is 10 at the half over the Thunder, 57-47. Earlier tonight,
Butler dribbles to the top of the arc, turns the corner, leads for Strus, wing right three, bottom, 28 for Strus. 5-point lead for Miami with 1:13 left in maybe the season for Chicago.
It was Sean Kelly, 102-91 the final, 31 for Strus, 31 for Butler. They spoke with TNT's Chris Haynes after they moved on to be the 8th seed.
Guys, I'm here with, got a dynamic duo here, Max Strus and Jimmy Butler. Max, awesome production tonight. How does it feel to have a game like that against the hometown team?
It's huge. It don't really matter who we're playing. We had to win this one, no matter what. So, win or go home, and we're not done yet. So we want to keep playing, and it's good to get that one. But it does feel a little bit better against them. I'm not going to lie.
You had those threes, man. How were they able to find you in those scrums?
Get the ball to him. He's one of the best at finding me. I love playing with him. He just makes the game easy for everyone.
Jimmy, You stepped it up in that second half, man. I know a lot of shots were coming up short at the basket early on. How were you able to mentally stay in it and get your game back?
That's what my squad needed me to do. Stay aggressive, keep being in attack mode. Eventually the ball's got to go in. I can't keep missing layups.
Did you feel the pressure as a 7th seed? You lost the first play-in game and had this one close. What is the pressure in the locker room?
Nah, I don't think any of us felt any type of pressure. We went out, we competed, we played the right way, corrected some things, and did what we were supposed to do.
Now you go into the playoffs as the 8th seed against the Milwaukee Bucks. Can you break down that matchup?
Man, it's going to be tough. They swept us, 2 years ago? But I think we got a shot, a really good shot at that. As long as we stick together through the good and the bad, I'm telling you, we're a really good team, and we're going to go out there and play as such.
Jimmy Butler, Max Strus, the TNT's Chris Haynes. Miami's the 8th seed. They visit Milwaukee on Sunday. Then it's the second game of 4. They'll tip at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Up next, Letty Goes on Halftime Report. We get set for the second half in Minneapolis at Target Center. You're listening to the NBA Play-In Tournament on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app.
40 days up to 40 pounds. Say it with me, 40 days up to 40 pounds. With the warmer days of spring approaching, you need to get rid of that oversized sweatshirt and reach out to NJ Diet. You will lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. They use your hair, saliva, and blood work along with bioenergetic scans to personalize natural solutions and supplements that get your body into the fat-burning zone so you can finally lose that weight. Then, NJ Diet uses DNA info to help you keep it off. You will be slimmer before this summer with the help of NJ Diet. And best of all, it's contractually guaranteed. You are fully supervised the entire time to make sure you're burning fat and not just losing water. And you even get the doctor's personal email and phone number. Locations throughout New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, or available worldwide with live online video consults. Call 855-5NJ-DIET or schedule your consultation today by going to njdiet.com. That's njdiet.com. 40 days up to 40 pounds. 40 days up to 40 pounds.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Third most important player on the Knicks for this series. Is it Hart? Is it Quickly?
We all love Josh Hart. I mean, his game is made for the playoffs. It should be R.J. Barrett. I think a little piece of everyone is hoping it is R.J. Barrett, but the guy that's been the most consistent elite defender is IQ, right? Especially if Julius Randle's not at 100%. You're going to need someone to score points.
DiPietro and Rothenberg. Morning 6 to 10 on 98.7 ESPN.
Peter Rosenberg here to tell you about my friends over at Bath Fitter. They remodeled my bath. They did an incredible job, and it was customized for my specific needs. The process was easy, one installer, and done in as little as 1 day. No demolition needed, which keeps the cost down. And Bath Fitter is a permanent solution, not a cover-up, not a Band-Aid, and you get a lifetime guarantee for as long as you own your home. 38 years in business and over 2 million happy customers just like me. For a limited time, get no interest, no payments for 12 months, and start designing your bath today like I did at bathfitterdesign.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
Do you want to gain stability, benefits, and experience? As a youth development specialist with the City of New York, you can build a solid civil service career working with New York City's youth. Start earning over $47,000, and in 3 months, you can get a $2,500 bonus. Earn a pension, paid overtime, health care, and in just 5 years, over $60,000. Apply now at nyc.gov/YDS. Make a difference in the lives of our youth. Become a youth development specialist today. Learn more at nyc.gov/YDS.
The Michael K. Show is on.
Let's go to Nick in Connecticut.
You guys are talking about someone not liking Peter. I actually know somebody that hates Peter. My dog.
What?
My 2-year-old French Bulldog, Rusty, absolutely hates Peter.
Wait, why?
Whenever he comes on the show, he starts barking, growling. He'll run to the TV. I have 15 to 20 videos of him doing this.
I love Rusty.
Don't miss the Michael K. Show. Weekdays at 3 on 98.7 ESPN. Listening to the NBA Play-In Tournament on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Conley dribbling near midcourt. Bounces left, Gobert sprints to come back and get it. He holds it to the free throw line. Passes right angle. Edwards a three. Is good. Anthony Edwards with a triple with 7.1 to go in the first half.
Our first half recap brought to you by the makers of 5-Hour Energy. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com. Anthony Edwards pushed the lead to 10. He's got 11. That'll do it for us on the AutoZone halftime report. Minnesota's halfway home to a date with Denver. Second half in Minneapolis is next. This is the Play-In Tournament on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Your words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster. No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing. But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone, America's #1 brakes destination. We have the pads, rotors, drums, shoes, and brake fluids to improve your stopping power. Right now, save 15% when you get any 2 Duralast rotors with a set of Duralast brake pads. Missing a tool? Ask about our free Loan-A-Tool program and borrow the tools you need to get the job done.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the MPD Group 2021. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Sarah wants a yard.
My own little paradise.
Brad, however, hates yard work.
The only thing I hate more than cutting the grass is paying someone to cut the grass.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Sarah and Brad found a great home with a yard. A very, very small yard.
Time to get it done. And I'm done.
Bundling without compromise at Geico.com.
Broken bricks, falling fences, damaged doors, Gorilla Glue. Of course. It's incredibly strong and 100% waterproof and bonds, well, virtually everything. While you're at it, look for Gorilla Tape, a heavy-duty double-thick duct tape, and Gorilla Super Glue, great for all your quick fixes and repairs. There's also Gorilla Epoxy, Gorilla Wood Glue, Gorilla Construction Adhesive. Of course. You get it. If you can break it, Gorilla can fix it. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Natalia, solid dismount, but that little pause is a deduction.
Top tumblers hope to stick the landing with Coach
That
Jasmine.
aerial sequence still needs work.
She needs more certified athletic trainers to find her balance.
Focus. I'm going to need you for the all-around. Wait, who's spotting the balls?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the NBA Play-In Tournament on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
I'm Kevin Oyster inside our Grainger studios. Before we go back to Minneapolis to start the second half, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the NBA Play-In Tournament on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app presented by Indeed.
Aaron Rodgers intends to play football for the New York Jets in 2023. Keep it on 98.7 ESPN for the latest. WEPN FM, New York.
Karl Anthony Towns has 15. More importantly, he is not in foul trouble like he was against the Lakers. That's what derailed his second half. Anthony Edwards got cranked up for Oklahoma City. They're going to need Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to get cranked up. He's only 3 of 12. He's got 10. Thunder down by 10. That'll do it for us on the AutoZone halftime report. Back to the second half of Target Center with Kalena Azubuike. Here's Mike Cousins.
Well, Kevin, let's pick up on that thread about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He was also 3 of 10 in the first half against New Orleans, and he finished the game with a team-high 32. Oklahoma City also can say Josh Giddey, who scored 31, was a rebound shy of a triple-double on Wednesday, has only 2 points in the first half, and they find themselves down by 10.
Well, Mark Dagnall talked about Shai Gilgeous only having 7 points. He said he made an adjustment, getting him in more positions to score. Maybe an adjustment this game would be finding a way to get Nickeil Alexander-Walker off of him more and involving some of the bigs, especially Gobert, maybe in pick and rolls, getting those bigs further away from the basket so you can attack going downhill and drive by them, because I talked about it early on. The drives for OKC, which is what they want to do, are a lot tougher tonight against the great rim protection of the Minnesota Timberwolves. So getting those bigs away from the basket, or at least getting Nickeil Alexander-Walker off Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But the Timberwolves are winning this game with their size right now, 32 points in the paint, just banging them down low. and tenacious defense. You got to give them credit. But can they sustain this? They played really well in the first half against the Lakers in the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, they all fell apart on the offensive side. So it's going to be a task for them to keep this going. But they have to have that same mentality.
Largest lead of the game for Minnesota has been 14. Right now, we start the second half with them up by 10, 57-47. Oklahoma City working at the left side basket. Dort with a drive from the right angle. Bounce feed out to the right wing. Jalen Williams with a three. That's good for the rookie out of Arkansas. And he makes it a 7-point game, 57-50.
They made Gobert help on that drive and kept Jalen Williams out on the perimeter who could shoot. So it's tough for Gobert to get back out.
High left angle. Edwards feeds to Towns in the post, who turns to face, holds the ball away from Dort with his right hand, drops it off. Alexander Walker, he contorts his body to score. The lefty lay-in straight on. 59-50 Minnesota.
Smart basketball again. Cat against a small defender, make them double team cut off of it.
Gilgeous-Alexander, right side slicing drive, lay-in, bounces off the rim, no good. He's 3 of 13 from the floor, and a lot of those shots have been at close range that he's missed.
Yeah, it's just they're altering the shots, though. They just make them a little tougher.
Towns angled left, open three, cans it. Giddey played off, and that burns him. Karl Anthony Towns puts Minnesota out in front by a dozen, 62-50. Again, their largest lead of the night has been 14. Right now it's a dozen. Left corner, Dort looks to answer. His three falls. Towns late on the closeout. Has some words with his head coach, Chris Finch, as he jogs back up the floor. 62-53, Timberwolves.
Dagnall is saying they got bigs trying to guard the perimeter. We can't let that happen.
Conley shot fakes and draws the foul. He was angled left outside the three-point arc. Scott Foster, the crew chief, right there on top of it, and the foul is on Gilgeous-Alexander. Fouls keep on coming, and that's his 4th personal.
Conley just smiled to himself. Just threw that little pump fake at him, got the defender up in the air. Looked like he was saying to himself, I'm so smart. I love myself. I'm not mad at him. He is a smart guy.
4th overall pick out of Ohio State all the way back in 2007.
But the reason that pump fake is so lethal is because he shoots a great three-point shooting percentage, 42%. So you have to respect that if you're SGA. You want to stay on your feet and not jump up in the air, but easier said than done.
Southpaw hits the first free throw. Minnesota 63, Oklahoma City 53, 10:24 to go. You're in the third quarter.
He was so good for them against the Lakers. He hit that three in the fourth quarter, and then the Timberwolves didn't score for like 8 minutes. They didn't hit a field goal for 8 minutes. And that just can't happen again tonight.
And they missed 14 of their last 16 shots as they lost Tuesday to the Lakers, 108-102 on the road. Dort up top. Distributes off to his right. Gilgeous-Alexander, a mismatch. He's guarded by Towns. Can he get by him? Crossover dribble, picks it up. Out right angle, Giddey deep three. Off the front rim, Gobert, the 7-footer with the Minnesota rebound.
He had the mismatch, but they basically zoned it up on him, so he really couldn't get in the paint like he wanted to.
Rest of the defense stank in. Towns, top of the key, shot fake, runner, lobs, Gobert, missed on the dunk. He recollects and stops at the right side basket. Rudy Gobert with a bucket.
And SGA is down. Again, they're banging them inside, and SGA took one to the schnoz, it looked like.
Gilgeous-Alexander laying on the floor at the block to our right, where the basket was scored by Gobert, holding his face. And Donnie Strack, the athletic trainer, has come out to take a look at him, which brings us to an early third quarter timeout. 9:45 to go in the third. Minnesota 66, Oklahoma City 53. You're listening to the NBA Play-In Tournament with more to come on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
The NBA playoffs are here, and you can turn crossovers into cash with FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com/Peter right now and place a $5 bet, and you'll get an instant $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Come on, guys. I got a feeling about this New York Knicks team, and I think they can take out the Cleveland Cavs. And you can bet it on FanDuel. Great promotions every single day, a safe and secure app, and you get paid instantly. There's no better place to bet all the playoff action than America's #1 sportsbook. Just go to FanDuel.com/Peter and sign up to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet your first $5. Win or lose. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA, 21 and over, and physically present in New York. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Hi, I'm attorney John D'Agostino. If you've been injured, you need a lawyer who knows what you're going through. I understand how one accident can turn your whole world upside down. I've been there. When I was a kid, my father was up on a bulldozer when a brick wall collapsed. It almost killed him. The doctors had to amputate his leg, and he had to learn to walk again, while my mother went to work as a waitress just to pay the bills. I know what you're going through. I've been there. I now run D'Agostino & Associates, personal injury law firm I built right here in New York and New Jersey. For over 30 years, D'Agostino & Associates has been helping accident victims get every dollar they deserve. We've recovered millions of dollars for people just like you. Call now, 888-24-LAW-24. D'Agostino & Associates, personal injury law firm that offers free consultation. And if you can't make it to us, we're going to come to you. I've been there. Call now, 888-24-LAW-24. 888-24-LAW-24. D'Agostino Law Fight Back.
Kevin with you inside of Granger Studios. We open up the first round of the NBA playoffs tomorrow afternoon, beginning at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, so it's afternoon or evening for some of you. Knicks and the Cavaliers. News today from Adrian Wojnarowski that Julius Randle's going to try to give it a go tomorrow in Game 1. He's been out since March 29th with an ankle sprain. He has not even been practicing. He'll work that ankle out during the pregame. Speaking of being out, how Shai Gilgeous-Alexander didn't get knocked out cold, I don't know. Maybe he was. But as Kalena aptly described it, ow! Kalena, back to you and Mike in the Target Center as Shai goes to the back.
Man, the reason I reacted that way is because he took a nasty, and I mean nasty elbow from Gobert. All his body weight, he's in the air, he's coming down, all on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's face. That's why I went, no! And I'm thinking Shai Gilgeous probably made the same noise as it hit him.
He is Kalena Azubuike, sometimes playing the role of Homer Simpson when we watch some injuries. Mike Cousins along with you, our producer, Owen Murphy, our engineer, Al Rosenberg, here at the Target Center in Minneapolis. It's 66-53, Timberwolves in the lead, and Lugan Stewart puts up a three. It's off the back iron, high rebound, grabbed by Gobert, the tallest player on the floor. So now scoring, or at least the shots, have to come from somewhere else for Oklahoma City. Gilgeous-Alexander leads the game. Gobert on the lob from Conley, fouled on his way up on the right side. And as we saw Gilgeous-Alexander leave the floor with a towel held above his right eye, we saw one of the members of the athletic training staff from Oklahoma City going over to the home staff from Minnesota, and I believe just doing some lip reading here courtside, I thought I saw stitches was what was said, which would make sense going back to the locker room there because they're going to have the equipment to be able to do that here inside the building. Gobert, the first free throw, and that is good to make it 67-53 Minnesota.
It looked like there was some blood happening for sure. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're back there stitching him up. And hopefully the Thunder get him back on the floor, maybe, but they're having a tough time. It's the same type of play that got Gobert these free throws that SGA got hurt on. Just a roll to the basket, and he's able to just roll freely in there, and they don't have the size to stop him from getting to the rim.
George at the top of the key, drives left, hands it off to Williams. It's now Giddey at the right angle, backing his way in, shoots over the top of Alexander Walker and scores. That is Josh Giddey's second made field goal here at the 9-minute mark of the third quarter, and it pulls Oklahoma City within 13. Conley in the far side corner, he gives it up. On the drive, Alexander Walker kicks out. Edwards straight on, triple. Around and out, Gobert tips it out of bounds along the near sideline. And right to the first seat of what would be the bench. It's the fans for Oklahoma City. And it's back to the Thunder down by 13.
That was a great shot, though. They moved the ball after a drive. Great offense. He'll take that any day of the week. It's a warm-up three. Just didn't make it.
Who should pick up the most of Gilgeous-Alexander's slack here?
Jalen Williams, you would think. He had the best first half as Lou Dort gets blocked.
But which one? There's two of them.
Jalen Williams of Santa Clara. The one that went to Santa Clara, J-Dub. He had 14 points in the first half. Look for him to be extra aggressive here.
Fifth most scoring amongst rookies this year. Off the inbound, Dort right corner and cans the three. Lou Dort now has 14. He's tied with the aforementioned Jalen Williams for the team lead for Oklahoma City. Back to a 10-point game. 68-58 Timberwolves. Gilgeous-Alexander is back, ready to check in at the next whistle. Three-point try right side. Conley, no good. And taking a look at Gilgeous-Alexander in front of us, it's the cut under his right eye. And it is all cleared up and ready to go. Giddey angled left. 10 on the shot clock for the Thunder. He goes to work on Alexander Walker. Backs his way in with a right-hand dribble. Two-hand pass across the court. Jalen Williams with a three. All parts of the rim and the backboard. And it falls down to Minnesota. Timberwolves have led by as many as 15 in this game. Oklahoma City's largest lead was 5. Gobert on the drive, and he's called for the offensive foul with the clear out as he knocked Jalen Williams to the ground.
That's what Jalen Williams does. Leads the league in most charges drawn, and SGA is back in the game looking like a fighter who just took a mean right cross. That right eye, the cut right under it, it's swollen up, and he's like, I'm tough. I'm going to be here for my teammates. His teammates and Mark Dagnall, I'm sure they appreciate it.
He's got a gash under his eye like a boxer, and he is back out there. Giddey cuts into the lane, puts it up. He's fouled. He falls to the ground right in the lane. And the foul goes against Anthony Edwards of the Timberwolves. That's number 1 on the 21-year-old, former number 1 overall draft pick. And it's Giddey to the line. Maybe this is him getting going here in Oklahoma City's comeback effort.
But this is his size coming into play. You saw
first free throw.
It was Mike. He made the first free throw. It was Mike Conley guarding him, and he moved his feet, which you would expect from Mike Conley not to give us a blow by there. But Giddey is using his footwork, counter move, spin move, and then just using his size to get up over the top. That's how he scored not too long ago, and he's doing it now, proving his worth.
Giddey makes both. 31 points on Wednesday against New Orleans. This is technically not a playoff game, but if you were to look at it as one, he's the youngest player in NBA history to score 30 in a game. You could say after the regular season. Towns with the feed from the right short corner to Gobert, an easy lay-in above the rim, 70-60 Timberwolves.
Yeah, Jalen Williams came over to double team Karl Anthony Towns because he had a mismatch again. Exploited it as Jalen Williams, the Arkansas version, misses a three.
Timberwolves lose it on the trip up the floor. Thunder recollect, and the shot-putted try from right in front of the lane is good for Jalen Williams. J-Will from Arkansas, 70-62. The Thunder chipping away at the Minnesota advantage.
You get the sense the Thunder just want to keep it within striking distance.
Alexander Walker, near side corner to Towns, top of the key. On the drive, he puts it on the deck, gets the foul, and one as he bulldozed his way through Arkansas, Jalen Williams. Foul and one for Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, Jalen Williams tried to get him again, but they got it to Karl Anthony Towns in space. The Giddey just had a really bad angle to try to cut him off, so he drove it as soon as he got it, ripped it through, and then I think Jalen Williams had his foot on the restricted circle, so Towns just was able to concentrate. Definitely took the bump. He can finish through contact. He's shown that.
6:44 to go in the third quarter. Timberwolves up 72-62. Towns at the line, and his free throw is good.
Timberwolves are just happy to have him back in the game. Remember, we watched him walk out with his wrist just limp. Looks fine now.
Stars of both teams, Towns, Gilgeous-Alexander, have made returns. Giddey trapped to the right block, feeds up top. Gilgeous-Alexander left wing, dribbling between his legs, guarded by Prince. 5 to shoot. To the top of the key. Giddey with an off-balance three, no good off the back rim. Edwards the rebound. It's poked away by Dort, but into the hands of his teammate Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He shovels back for Towns in transition. A shot fake. Towns to the basket, right side lay-in. He got it and one. Karl Towns, back-to-back and ones. And it could be 6 straight from Cat. 75-62. Minnesota the lead.
Oh, bowed up on him, too. Flexing afterwards. And as soon as he got it, this is why he likes to trail. He says he likes to trail so he can kind of scope out the floor. And before he gets the ball, he knows if he can drive or not. And there, as soon as he got it, ripped it through, had the advantage, got the step on Jalen Williams, the Arkansas version, and finished through contact again. And he is going to the basket bad intentions in mind.
14 fouls against Oklahoma City here in the quarter. Towns hits the free throw. He's got 24 on the night. 9 points here in the quarter for Towns. 76-62. Minnesota the lead with 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Gilgeous-Alexander, outside of the lane, picks up his dribble at the second marker. Kick out Isaiah Joe just into the game, the three-point shooter. Giddy with the drive left side, rejected by Towns. Quick outlet, Anderson. It's Edwards at the top of the key. He settles on the drive, backs them out, slows it down. 12 on the timer. Gives it to his right, feet inside. Anderson to the far corner. Towns triple. No good. Might have knocked the roof off of this building with this crowd in it all night long. Thunder down 76-62. Dort, right angle. He puts a three in the air. No good. Wide right. Tipped around by Williams and eventually corralled by Edwards of the Timberwolves. Edwards at the top of the key. Guarded by Jalen Williams, the rookie out of Santa Clara. Takes his dribble to the angle left. One-hand feed for Towns. It's poked away by Dort, out of bounds on the sideline. And it stays with Minnesota. Substitution, Oklahoma City. Dario Saric, the 6'10 big man, is in. And Josh Giddey, with a quiet night, goes to the bench. 6 points at the moment.
And Minnesota's trying to exploit that matchup again, going to Karl-Anthony Towns against Dort. In that last possession, they did a great job of forcing another double team, and they're just playing out of that, getting great offense out of that.
Towns a game high 24. Lou Dort and Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara, each with 14 to lead Oklahoma City. Near corner, Prince hawks the three and hits! Torian Prince with a triple to beat the shot clock. And it's 79-62. Minnesota running away in the third quarter with its largest lead of the night.
This building has come alive, and the ball movement is on point. Their offense is firing on all cylinders. Can they keep this up is the question, because the Thunder, they're not going to lose their fight either. They're going to try to fight back. You expect a run from the Thunder, but right now it's all Minnesota.
Timberwolves 79, Thunder 62 with 4:54 left in the third quarter. This is the NBA Play-In Tournament on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Scott the Scots here. Do you hear that? Bring the mic in close. That's not how the grass should sound. There's weeds everywhere on this lawn. It's time to take action with Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action. It gets 3 jobs done at once. Kills weeds, prevents crabgrass, and feeds your lawn so it keeps growing strong. Ah, much better.
Get a bag of Scott's Triple Action today. It's guaranteed, or your money back.
Feed your lawn. Feed it.
Finally, baseball is back. Swing into the season with tickets to the action. Plus, with basketball and hockey heating up, now is a great time to experience a game. Vivid Seats is proud to be the official ticketing partner of ESPN. From on the glass to in the stands, Vivid Seats has great ticket prices to all the games. Every crack of the bat, every dribble down the court. Catch it all with Vivid Seats. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats. Experience it live. 5-Hour Energy wants to give you a $25,000 Eco Charger electric ATV. Just buy any 5-Hour Energy product, snap a photo of your receipt, and upload the photo at 5hecharge.com. You could win a $25,000 Eco Charger electric ATV. Sweepstakes ends June 30th. No purchase necessary to enter. For rules and how to enter without purchase, go to 5hecharge.com. Charge up your summer with 5-Hour Energy. Enter today.
Thank you for calling Navy Federal Credit Union. How can I help you?
Hi, if I'm in the Army, not in the Navy, am I still eligible for membership?
Yes, you are.
What about my sister in the Air Force?
Her too.
And my dad's a Marine.
We serve all branches of the military, veterans, and their families.
My dog is a retired military working dog.
I'll see what I can do.
Find out if you're eligible at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
With you inside our Granger Studios. Earlier tonight, Miami knocks off Chicago to win the 8th place play-in game. So it'll be Chicago in Milwaukee in the 1-8 matchup. The Denver Nuggets are awaiting their participant on the other side of the bracket. And whoever it is, whether it's Oklahoma City or Minnesota, good luck winning in Denver. No place like home for the Nuggets. No place like home brought to you by Angie. With Angie, it's easier than ever to get home projects done well. Get started on the Angie app or go to Angie.com. Mike in Cullen, Denver was 34-7 at home this season. Actually, it's only the second best record in the West for home records. Memphis was 35-6.
Well, if the score holds as it is right now, 79-62 in favor of Minnesota, they would take on Denver. Minnesota and Denver split the season series, and as you'd guessed, based off of what Kevin just said, neither team lost at home.
True, and Minnesota is clearly not satisfied. A little full court pressure.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the drive, the spin, and through contact, he scores. He turned the defense into human bowling pins right there, knocking Anderson and Alexander Walker out of his way.
Yeah, that move was so good, the counter move. He faked like he was going left and spun back to the middle.
4:30 to go, third quarter, 79-64. Timberwolves in the lead. Alexander Walker in the paint. Kicks to the near corner. Prince, where he just hit a three, gives to Anderson straight away. Off to his left, Edwards. The dribble to the left elbow. Turnaround jumper, no good as the shot clock expires. Rebound OKC. It's Gilgeous-Alexander, 12 points, but a 4 of 14 shooting night. He crosses over on Prince, steps back, shot fake, steps through, puts it up short, grabs his own miss, up against three defenders, and he misses the shot but draws the foul. A tireless, relentless effort from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and he goes to the free throw line at the left end.
He's unfazed by that gash below his right eye. His footwork is just stellar. The way he's able to fake and then step through, and his step throughs, he covers so much ground with that. These long strides, just lunged at the basket, right at Moore, makes the first free throw, knew exactly where his miss was going, got it right back, made sure he got to the free throw line. He is undeterred. You know what his game is. He's going to the rim, but he's going to hit you with all kinds of different moves and footwork to get there.
Second free throw is good. Gilgeous-Alexander now is up to 14. So three Thunder players with 14. Lou Dort, Jalen Williams from Santa Clara, and Gilgeous-Alexander. But they need more from SGA, who averages 31 a night. Alexander Walker, right wing three. No good. Offensive board. Towns, and he scores. He climbed over Lou Dort to put it back in. He's just too big. 81-66. Timberwolves as Towns has 26.
You said, George, you're not going to box me out, but the Timberwolves' offensive possessions make a lot of sense right now.
Isaiah Joe speeds to the basket. He shot faked his way past Prince and laid it in uncontested, 81-68. It's Alexander Walker straight on, shovels it back for Anderson, who gives to Prince at the right wing. Two dribbles to the basket, ripped away by Gilgeous-Alexander, who corrals the loose ball in the near side corner. He speeds right to left, inside-out dribble against Prince, and he draws the foul. He's a one-man wrecking crew right now, driving down the floor. Racks up foul number 2 on Prince and goes back to the free throw line again here with 3:07 to go in the third.
He knew Prince was going to foul him. He knew he had a bad angle. This man is relentless. And I'm telling you, this Thunder team is not going to go away. This is their push right now. And they're still within striking distance. And the Timberwolves, you can tell this crowd isn't too comfortable right now.
First free throw pure there for Gilgeous-Alexander. Couple substitutions. Rudy Gobert returns. Karl Anthony Towns gets a well-deserved rest.
And one thing Shai Gilgeous is thinking about as well is just attacking before their defense is set.
Right.
So getting down in transition. If you have even close to an open floor, just attack in and see if you can get to the free throw line. He's going to live there now.
2 of 2 at the stripe. A team high 16. The game high still belongs to Towns of Minnesota with 26.
And the Thunder are in his zone right now.
That was a fifth signal from Mark Daignault, their head coach, to put them into that zone. Edwards passes to Alexander Walker, top of the key. Swings at the Prince right wing. He passes cross court. Edwards a three. Yes! Anthony Edwards with a triple from the left wing. 84-70 Minnesota.
Good things happen when you drive that zone. That's what happens. You get into the paint, collapse the defense the same way as if they're in a man. Open up a three ball.
Edwards now up to 14, the second highest scorer on the Timberwolves side. Gilgeous-Alexander, another drive, another foul. He left the shot short.
and he's going to take a break. He's just going to relax on the floor right now. His
he is
teammates are
laying
just
down
waiting for
like he's on a chaise lounge on the beach, but his hands behind his head at the basket stanchion.
Everybody's on the same page, though. His teammates all just gathered around like, we know what this is. You've been working hard. Just take a break. Relax. Sit there. Lay there. And he did, and now he's up and he's ready to shoot his free throws. But this man is not taking no for an answer. He is going to drive if it's the last thing he does.
Third foul on Prince. 2:33 third quarter. Timberwolves up 84-71 after he hits that first free throw. How about this for Gilgeous-Alexander? 31.4 points a game this year. Third highest scoring average in Oklahoma City history. The other two guys who are ahead of him, KD was 32, MVP season in 13-14. Russell Westbrook in 16-17 was 0.2 of a point better, MVP season.
Impressive. And I think he can keep playing like this, even until he gets old.
He makes the second free throw, pokes the ball away, it's loose from right to left. He feeds Isaiah Joe. Oh, with the left hand, slams it home in transition. And Oklahoma City is right back in this thing. 84-74, 2:20 to go in the third.
Nickeil Alexander-Walker's pride is just destroyed. Oh, my goodness. Hey, I don't think he expected Isaiah Joe to rise to the occasion like this. That was wild. Well, I told you, the Thunder are not going away. This is a young team with the confidence of an old veteran team and the swag of an old veteran team. They're poised under pressure. It's the exact same way they were with the Pelicans. That game wasn't going well the whole time. In fact, it started off terrible. Valanciunas is killing them, and they just stayed calm, cool, and collected, and found a way to keep it close. And close game down the stretch, they're making all the plays. Shai Gilgeous is hitting all his shots. Other guys had been activated early, so they were ready to attack and make plays when they were called upon, and they didn't turn it over when it counts.
I want to revisit what you just said, too, because if you were with us pregame, you heard Thunder head coach Mark Diggs, and I'll talk about this. He has said throughout the course of the year that his players have been confident. They've had a bit of a swagger to them, and we asked him, how could that be? The only guys that were on this team in 2020 when they made the playoffs in the bubble were Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Lou Dort. I think part of that is they don't know any better. They're so young. You look at the starting lineup, and the oldest guy is 24 years old. Yeah. They're going to go out there because they haven't yet necessarily been humble.
Yeah, and their leader is mature beyond his years. SGA, their coach, is mature and cool and calm under pressure, and I think he transfers that to his team. They know exactly what they're doing down the stretch, how to keep games close, how to attack and drive and get to the free throw line, which is what veteran teams do to cut into lead.
Full court man-to-man pressure by the Thunder as they pick up in the front court right. Timberwolves in the gray jerseys with neon green accents. Oklahoma City primarily orange uniforms here tonight in Minneapolis. Prince in the far left corner, open for three. He hits.
Yeah, Gobert set a screen that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander could not get through there. That was teamwork, and Gobert's not going to get a stat for it, just appreciation from his teammates.
Gilgeous-Alexander on the cut, right side of the lane. Another foul on Prince. This is either three straight or 3 out of 4 possessions where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of Oklahoma City has driven, and Taurean Prince has been called for the foul. They just keep racking up. He's got 4 now.
It's Groundhog Day for this man, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm telling you, he's not going to stop driving. And Prince has 5 fouls now. But you got the chance happening here in this building, trying to razzle the officials.
The fans are displaying what you might call a lack of admiration for the ability of the officials.
It's a normal thing. It happens.
Scott Foster and Courtney Kirkland on this crew have combined for 26 finals games. I think they know what they're doing.
I'll tell you one person that doesn't care, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's going to draw another foul probably the next possession. He's going to drive it down their throats if he can.
He's up to 20 points, 12 of 12 at the free throw line. It's 87-76. Minnesota leading OKC. 95 seconds to go third quarter. Edwards with the right block, rises off the glass and scores. Anthony Edwards now with 16. OKC turns it over. Edwards top of the key. A triple. He nails it straight on. And it's 92-76 Timberwolves.
And that's a big-time sequence to get some more separation.
Gilgeous-Alexander drives, rises, shoots, misses, and the tip-in is there. Lindy Waters corrals the miss. 92-78, a momentary crowd quieter a minute to go in the third quarter. Edwards, after that last sequence, now has 19. Near side corner. Anderson, who came off the bench tonight, lobs Gobert, who's fouled from behind by Joe. Tell you what, smart foul there. He smacked the left arm of Rudy Gobert going for the dunk because he needed to. If he doesn't, Gobert dunks it, and the crowd goes nuts.
When I tell you time heals all wounds, I'm being serious. Not too long ago, Gobert was punching Kyle Anderson in the face, and now they're working together and assisting each other. You got a ball screen, Kyle Anderson just driving to his left. It's close in, so if you make any mistake, it's a layup or a dunk. And that's what happened. Two defenders committed to Kyle Anderson late there. Just throw the lob for Gobert. I don't know, he airballed that one just now.
Yikes.
Gobert just airballed it. Who left the windows open? Oh, my goodness.
Today was the day to do it. High temperature here today was 81 degrees.
It's so nice outside. It's not windy. What is happening? Yeah, that's embarrassing, man. That's the most embarrassing. You're supposed to be one of the best players in the basketball world. You're in the NBA, and you're airballing free throws.
So here's Gobert's second try, and that is good.
And the crowd erupted.
Yeah,
like they just won a championship.
They give him a little bit of extra. Well, they're just trying to get back to the postseason for the second straight year. Minnesota last year beat the Clippers in a play-in and lost in the first round to Memphis 4-2. 8 to shoot, Oklahoma City. Gilgeous-Alexander back to the basket, dribbles to the right block, feeds to the corner. They work it around to Joe, left wing three, too much on it. He surges, rebound goes to Conley. On the run, it's Gobert, and it's poked away by Waters. Loose ball, Gobert's got it behind the back of the left side, goes up and lays it in. Rudy Gobert from an airball free throw to a behind-the-back lay-in.
What is happening with Rudy Gobert? He's playing like a man possessed, beating people down the floor. This is crazy.
4 seconds to go in the quarter. Gilgeous-Alexander drives, strip, Edwards, three-quarter court heave, no good. And that takes us to the end of a wild sequence at the third quarter's conclusion. Minnesota 95, Oklahoma City 78.
Minnesota just showed me something there because the Thunder were pushing, and they just gave him this stiff arm. It's like, nope, hold on. You're going to come this far and no more. And they got out in transition. They knocked down threes. They found a way to get more separation. Gobert is beating people down the floor, going behind the back. When did he gain handle? I can't even recognize this guy.
The fight for the 8th seed continues. 12 minutes to go at the end of the third. It's the Timberwolves 95 and the Thunder 78. This is the NBA play-in tournament on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Fans, the NBA playoffs are on their way. But before they begin, it's the NBA play-in tournament.
Winner advances, the loser goes home.
4 teams vying for the last 2 spots in each conference.
Curry.
Some teams will get in.
Do or die.
Others, they're coming up short.
Forget about X and O. Who wants it more?
It's now or never. The playoffs are calling. But first, you got to win to get in. The NBA play-in tournament begins April 11th on ESPN and TNT.
Thank you for calling Navy Federal Credit Union. How can I help you?
Hi. If I'm in the Army, not in the Navy, am I still eligible for membership?
Yes, you are.
What about my sister in the Air Force?
Her too.
And my dad's a Marine.
We serve all branches of the military, veterans, and their families.
My dog is a retired military working dog.
I'll see what I can do.
Find out if you're eligible at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
O'Reilly. Is your vehicle no longer stopping like it used to? Don't miss spring brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Our professional parts people will help you find the brake parts and supplies you need. Now through April 25th, get 15% off when you buy a set of Brake Best Select or Import Direct brake pads and 2 rotors. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At the United States Postal Service, we're reinventing our network to help keep your business moving. With new shipping options to deliver better value, greater flexibility to conveniently reach your customers, more confident shipping with new informed delivery features. and new electric vehicles for a cleaner, brighter future. Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/moving forward.
With you inside our Granger Studios, 3 quarters complete.
Edwards at the right block, rises off the glass and scores. Anthony Edwards now with 16. OKC turns it over. Edwards top of the key. A triple. He nails it straight on. And it's 92-76.
Ant-Man's got 19. Karl Anthony Towns has 26. And more importantly, again, he's not in foul trouble like he was 3 nights ago. Minnesota 95, Oklahoma City 78. We go to the 4th, back to Target Center with Kalena Azubuike. Here's Mike Cousins.
Well, Kevin, we've got a lot of road to go here. 12 minutes on the clock. Timberwolves ball as they come left to right. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker bounces it in. Mike Conley lets it bounce a couple of times and brings it across the logo at midcourt. To the left angle, dribble handoff. Alexander-Walker gives it up for Anderson, who shares to his left. Conley, bounce feed, Gobert in the lane. Out to Alexander-Walker. They zip it to the far corner. Conley, straight away Anderson. He blows by Waters, floats it up, no good. Gobert, right block, rebound, and he's fouled on the try. Lindy Waters was there with him, and it's number 2 on Waters, the guard for Oklahoma City.
There's a lot of energy behind that ball right now for the Timberwolves. That ball is flying around. The ball movement is on point. Kyle Anderson with a good threatening drive. He attacks well, but that opens up an opportunity for Gobert to use his size and get to the offensive glass. He's just been so active and agile tonight. I mean, that's how you use your size. If you can move like he is tonight, it just makes it tough on the Thunder. You're playing right now without Karl Anthony Towns, but if you keep having offensive possessions like this is how you close a team out.
They took 3 of 4 during the regular season, but they haven't played since December. Gobert, the second free throw, round 2 at the line. Now 14 points. 4 of 8 from the floor. Gilgeous-Alexander, a free throw machine in the third quarter, gives to Giddey at the right angle. He bounces behind his back, top of the key. Williams to the left wing for the other Jalen Williams. Cross court, Gilgeous-Alexander gives to the near corner. Waters hit on his shot, no whistle, and the shot clock down to 0. Airball try by Jalen Williams. How is there not a foul on that try in the corner there by Waters?
I'm saying that was a clean block. Anthony Edwards got on his horse. Look at him get ball first. If you high-five him, if you get ball first, they're going to let that go. And the Timberwolves were in a zone there where you still have to be on your horse and bring the effort defensively. Anthony Edwards did it.
Here comes Conley. Cross midcourt left to right. 11 for him. 3 assists for the point guard. Anderson back to the basket, top of the key. Dribbles, knees, Gobert, and he tips it in with the right hand. Fading toward the baseline. Rudy Gobert can do no wrong tonight. 16 now for him.
They haven't been able to figure out Gobert's pick and roll. 2 defenders commit to the ball. He's rolling unencumbered.
Williams at the left block. And he turns it over, taking away Anthony Edwards from left to right from the top of the key. Swerves into the lane, and he lost it out of bounds. Unfortunately for him, he made contact with his teammate, Rudy Gobert, stuffing his face into the 27 on the back of his jersey. Thunder, quick inbound. Williams left to the lane. Bounces to the corner. The other Williams, the rookie from Arkansas. Gilgeous-Alexander angled left. Passes right, Giddey, running floater, right side. Tipped up by Williams out of Santa Clara. His try no good. And it stays 98-78 Minnesota. Almost 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. On the line tonight, a trip to the NBA playoffs. The 8th seed in the West. Winner goes to take on number 1 seed Denver tomorrow. And I just inbounded the pass that came out of bounds to our table here to Scott Foster. It was a pass too high to the near side sideline. It bounced off of your water bottle?
Yeah, you got to keep your head on a swivel over here. I could have taken one to the schnoz, but luckily I'm okay.
The pleasure.
You would have been doing the game by yourself. I'm not as tough as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who had a cash under his eye. If I got that, I'd be like, you know what, you got this one by yourself.
The pleasures and the pains of sitting courtside. Scott Foster was on the run like a wide receiver going down the floor. It's not his first time taking an inbounds from a broadcaster.
No, I would have fought through it.
10 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Timberwolves by 20. Gilgeous-Alexander scores off a feed from Giddey at the right block. SGA now has 20, and it's 98-80. that 20-point lead that has now shrunk to 18, the largest of the evening for Minnesota. Far side corner, Alexander Walker on the drive, baseline. Stymied by Giddey, kicks it out for Anderson at the left angle, 5 to shoot. His pass tipped and out of bounds near sideline off of Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara. It stays Minnesota ball with 4.9 to shoot.
It was coming this direction again.
We were ready. We were ready.
Yeah.
I will catch a basketball. I will not catch a baseball heading to the press box. That's a license for injury.
I think my reaction time has gotten a little worse as I've gotten older. They've been able to catch that one.
Conley's going to inbound it just to our right. Takes the handoff from Scott Foster. 4.9 to shoot. He looks toward the top of the key. Now to the lane. Gives it to Gobert. One dribble. Zips it to the corner. Alexander Walker. 3. Good.
He just shed Jalen Williams and was driving to the basket, so the help had to come off that shooter, and he found the shooter.
101-80. Timberwolves in full control with 9:15 to go. Gilgeous-Alexander kept out of the lane by his cousin Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Waters floats it 3, no good, wide to the right. Conley, the Minnesota rebound.
And Gobert has been a game changer this game. He's guarding guards on the perimeter.
And here he is taking a feed from Conley on the baseline, rising to go up and fouled on the shot attempt.
Yeah, they can't figure out his pick and roll. The two defenders keep committing to the ball, and they're not getting any weak side help. And he's finding ways to get to the rim. His teammates are finding ways to get it to him. He's like, yeah, you're the biggest human out here. We got to take advantage of you. He's making himself available.
So how do they fix their pick and roll coverage? What can they do better?
You got to collapse. You got to get the weak side over. If you're going to send two guys to the ball, you got to get a third defender in there and just make them beat you over the top. The three-point shooting for the Timberwolves has actually been really good. So that's even bigger problem. As they're shooting 44% from the three-point line. If you clog up the paint, that's what the Thunder are scared of, is Gobert makes the first free throw far away from an air ball. Good for him. But if you do clog the paint up and get a third defender in there, they're going to move the ball like they've done so well tonight and probably get an open shot. So it makes it tough on the Thunder.
Gobert good on the first and good on the second. Rudy Gobert slowly building that point total. He's got 18. Anthony Edwards with 19, and Karl Towns with a game-high 26. Giddey in the lane, shovels left. Williams, who gives to the right block. Dort goes up, swatted from behind by Towns with some trash talk to follow it up.
Ooh.
Here comes Minnesota. Conley, left wing 3. Up and good. They can't be stopped right now. Mike Conley's got 14, and it's 106-80 Minnesota.
Everybody's smiling on the floor for the Timberwolves. They're styling on him now as Jalen Williams misses a 3. They're doing the job defensively as well. They went to a zone, and they're still collapsing on all the drives.
Conley, left wing, shot fake. Gives to Gobert, left to the lane. Backing his way in. He goes to the basket and gets fouled by Dort on his turn at the block.
And Gobert is toying with people, too. He had Shai Gilgeous on him. He's like, I got post-game, too. I'm not just a pick-and-roll finisher. I can play with my back to the basket, and he showed it there, and he got fouled.
But, Kalena, just look at the lineup on the floor right now for Oklahoma City. There's not a body that is close to being able to defend Gobert one-on-one.
That's why we said early on. Can the Minnesota Timberwolves take advantage of their size? And they've done it in a big way tonight. Pun intended when I say big. They're a big team. They're showing it.
Gobert misses the first free throw. An 11-2 run to start this quarter here for Minnesota. At the half, this is a 10-point game. 57-47 in favor of the Timberwolves.
They kept their foot on the gas pedal, and they've done it with their size. They got some heavy feet.
Gobert, the second free throw, good. He claps his hands in celebration. He's now up to 19, second highest score on the night. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a big driver in the third quarter, tries to feed Giddey. It's turned over. Conley from left to right. Shovels back Anderson. He lobs to the lane for Towns. Intercepted Jalen Williams. Up ahead, his bounce speed a little bit sloppy. Conley gets it. Throws a touchdown pass down the floor. Towns on the lob to Gobert.
And the bigs working together. This crowd loves it. The Thunder can't get right now. And the Timberwolves are just running away with it, forcing turnovers. And they can't break their zone. Every time they try to throw it to the middle, they're getting deflections. And the Minnesota Timberwolves are feeling themselves right now.
They are running away with a trip to the NBA playoffs. for a second straight year. 7:52 to go, fourth quarter on their home floor. Minnesota 109, Oklahoma City 80. You're listening to the NBA Play-In Tournament on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
40 days up to 40 pounds. Say it with me, 40 days up to 40 pounds. With the warmer days of spring approaching, you need to get rid of that oversized sweatshirt and reach out to NJ Diet. You will lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. They use your hair, saliva, and blood work along with bioenergetic scans to personalize natural solutions and supplements that get your body into the fat-burning zone so you can finally lose that weight. Then, NJ Diet uses DNA info to help you keep it off. You will be slimmer before this summer with the help of NJ Diet. And best of all, it's contractually guaranteed. You are fully supervised the entire time to make sure you're burning fat and not just losing water. And you even get the doctor's personal email and phone number. Locations throughout New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, or available worldwide with live online video consults. Call 855-5NJ-DIET or schedule your consultation today by going to njdiet.com. That's njdiet.com. 40 days up to 40 pounds. 40 days up to 40 pounds.
Resorts World New York City, where the excitement never stops. This month, they're giving away a new 2023 BMW X1, and you could be the lucky winner. Drive home in your new luxury BMW Saturday, April 29th at 8 p.m. Earn entries to win every time you visit Resorts World New York City and play on one of our 5,500 slots and electronic table games. Resorts World New York City, the only casino hotel in NYC. For more information, visit rwnewyork.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Must be 18 or over to gamble.
Hey everybody, it's Michael K. I love when I get to talk about my friends at PC Richard & Son. It's a local company, family-owned. I trust them for my appliances, TVs, electronics, and a good night's sleep, too. Their experts use a 4-step mattress fitting process to find you the right pillow, the right firmness, the right technology, and the right adjustable base so that your new bed fits you perfectly. They guarantee it, and they deliver it for free. So do what I do. Get to PC Richard & Son, the local company you could trust for your new mattress.
With you inside our Granger Studios. Round one of the playoffs starts tomorrow. It's an ESPN television triple header. ABC will close it out. Brooklyn, Philadelphia, 1 Eastern. Atlanta, Boston, 3:30 Eastern. Knicks and the Cavs, 6 Eastern on TV, 5:30 here on radio. Warriors in Sacramento, 8:30 Eastern on ABC television. Time now for Digital, brought to you by Geico. Whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. Go to geico.com today. This season might have been a disaster for the Warriors on the road, but did you know they've won at least one road game in 20 consecutive playoff series? That is the longest streak in NBA history. Kalena knew that. He better. It's his shot. By the way,
that escalated quickly.
Yeah, that's our game. Back to you guys.
That really got out of hand fast.
Thunder down 29, 109-80. The largest deficit they faced this year is 33. 7:52 to go. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander lets the ball roll up the floor on the inbounds. He's been their best player tonight, 22, despite shooting 5 of 19 from the floor. In Kalena, third quarter, he was driving to the basket, racking up the fouls, and yet that hasn't been the case here in the fourth quarter. Why not?
You know what changed? Minnesota's zone. They went zone against them, and you go zone as Jalen Williams from Santa Clara knocks down a three. You go zone because you don't trust a team can beat you over the top, and the Thunder have not shot the three ball well tonight. They're 32%, but it makes it tougher to drive against the zone. You can collapse on that zone a little easier, or those drives a little easier, and that's what the Minnesota Timberwolves did to much success.
Here's Towns just inside the top of the key, and a defensive foul underneath the basket. Lou Dort not particularly happy with it. The call's not against him, though. That is against Jalen Williams, the rookie out of Santa Clara, who's whistled for his second on his 22nd birthday.
Well, that's what teams do when they're struggling to guard teams one-on-one, like the Timberwolves were against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, fouling him, sending him to the free throw line. You go zone and do it as a team. Collapse on drives, make them beat you over the top, and it's worked wonders for the Timberwolves.
Just into the game for the first time is Ousmane Dieng, the 19-year-old rookie out of France. They're going to put him against Gobert underneath. That doesn't go well. Lob to Gobert. He just missed the layup as a double-team Tang. Dieng up the floor right to left. Now it's Dort at the right angle. A two-handed pass over to Williams in the corner. Jab step against Towns. Three long off the translucent rectangle behind the rim. And it's 109-83, 6:43 to go in the game. Minnesota on its way to the playoffs. Edwards straight on three, around and out, and Dort, the OKC rebound. Unbelievable. A see-through window there. Dort with a three, open from the right wing. He's had some looks like that tonight, especially when he's been matched up with Towns, who's playing off of him. 109-86. Timeout OKC here with 6:27 to go.
The only way the Thunder can get back in the game is they knock down some threes.
Got to be able to do that and get some stops. 6:27 to go in the fourth. Minnesota 109, Oklahoma 86. This is the NBA Play-In Tournament on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Bundling and saving with Geico is an easy choice, so you're free to ponder life's big questions, like what's the best animal in the world if not humans? I'd strongly consider ducks to be somewhere up there on the list. Think about it. Ducks can swim, ducks can fly, and ducks can walk on land. They have access to all terrains. They are the ultimate animal. And they wiggle their butts when they walk, which is funny. Yeah, ducks are awesome. End of story. Bundling and saving with Geico. It's an easy choice.
Broken bricks, falling fences, damaged doors, Gorilla Glue. Of course. It's incredibly strong and 100% waterproof and bonds, well, virtually everything. While you're at it, look for Gorilla Tape, a heavy-duty double-thick duct tape, and Gorilla Super Glue, great for all your quick fixes and repairs. There's also Gorilla Epoxy, Gorilla Wood Glue, Gorilla Construction Adhesive. Of course. You get it. If you can break it, Gorilla can fix it. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Yes, we do have availability. Those dates for how many guests?
Andrea's Boutique Hotel is the destination to tie the knot.
Oh, you want the whole property?
She needs an assistant to catch the bookings bouquets.
249 guests. Oh, and 3 dogs.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Your morning coffee. Hot, delicious, and oh so comforting. But by the third or fourth cup, your stomach might not feel so good. If that sounds like you, replace your afternoon cup with 5-Hour Energy. It's perfect for those times when you're feeling coffeeed out. Remember, coffee in the morning, 5-Hour Energy after. Your stomach will thank you. Discover 5-Hour Energy. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
You're with you inside our Granger Studios. I want to thank all of you who logged on to our Twitter account at NBA on ESPN Radio to vote in the AutoZone in the Zone poll question. Pretty close split. We only gave you 2 options. We gave you Cat and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 52-48. Karl Anthony Towns had the advantage. Cat's had a big night. He's got 26. Shai's had a good second half, but this is going sideways for the Thunder rapidly here in the second half. And as we go back to Target Center, Mike Cousins and Kaleta Azubuike, I can't probably find one person who at the beginning of the year would have said the Thunder will be 1 game away from the playoffs. The future looks pretty bright. Back to you guys.
And that's the thing about this game is ESPN Analytics gave the Thunder a projection of the worst record in the league this season. Their average age is just a tick under 24 years old. And the only team in NBA history to have an average age under 24 and reach the playoffs was the 09-10 Thunder. You had KD, Russell Westbrook, Harden, all under 22 years old. So they've got a first-round pick this year, 3 first-round picks next year, plenty of talent on this roster. There's a lot of room for optimism for this team.
A plethora of draft picks to keep that future bright. And the maturity level, the confidence level of this team is through the roof. Keep this core together. They're going to grow together. I'm just happy for Oklahoma, where I grew up, that they have a solid, competitive team, and they're going to become more and more competitive.
Conley put up a 3 in the right side basket to try and beat the shot clock. Off the back iron. Dort with the rebound. He's got it straight on. Lofts it over his shoulder. Giddey wide to the right and out of bounds with 5:51 to go. The night for Giddey has been a little puzzling. 2 of 13, just 6 points for him.
Yeah, they made it tough on him defensively. They were really on it, making sure they move their feet. And the Timberwolves right now is just fighting human nature, trying not to take their foot off the gas pedal.
Towns gets a good look for 3. just to the left of the top of the key. The rebound to Jang, the rookie from France, who leads the break right to left. A couple years ago was playing in the third tier of French pro basketball. Last year in New Zealand, he misses a layup left side, and it's out of bounds off of Oklahoma City with 5:30 to go.
The Timberwolves are still working defensively. They're going to make everything tough at the rim. They're fifth in the league in blocks. They have the rim protection with Gobert and Towns. Nothing easy at the rim.
And Oklahoma City going full court defense here. Down 109-86, 5:30 to go. Minnesota with a win. They are into the playoffs as the number 8 seed. They open things up Sunday night against Denver on the road. Left corner Anderson thought about a three, dribbles to the lane, shot takes, rises, shoots, misses, and it's jammed home by Karl Anthony Towns. Timeout, Oklahoma City.
Just having a field day with their size. All over the glass, pounding him inside. How many points in the paint is that? It's like 54, 56. And they are doing the job tonight. They made this a bad matchup for the Thunder. On paper coming in, you're like, Timberwolves have a lot of size. What is the Thunder going to do about that? But the way the Timberwolves have played, they made it that way. There's nothing that the Thunder could do about their size tonight.
With the Thunder timeout, we now pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the NBA Play-In Tournament on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
This is 98.7 ESPN, a Good Karma Brands radio station. WEPN-FM, New York.
At Target Center tonight in Minneapolis, final NBA Play-In Tournament game, and it's all Minnesota. 111-86, 5:11 to go, fourth quarter. Mike Cousins along with Helena Azubuki, our producer Owen Murphy, our engineer Al Rosenberg, and tonight's attendance, 19,304, brought to you by Vivid Seats, where you earn rewards with every purchase. Vivid Seats Rewards is your ticket to more tickets. Vivid Seats, life happens live. Well, we talked about this right at the beginning. Oklahoma City kind of playing with house money this season, not projected to be where they were. You go back to when big man Kenrich Williams got hurt. They were 13th at that point. That took away some of their frontline size, and yet they finished 10th in the West. Minnesota, what they gave up for Rudy Gobert, 4 players, 4 first-round picks. Gobert's 30 years old. They're built to win now.
Yeah, they wanted to get to the playoffs, and they want to make some noise in the playoffs. The Nuggets are going to make that really tough to do, though.
Wiggins on the left wing, takes one dribble, floats it up, and scores. 111-88 is the lead for Minnesota. Also keep in mind, they had 2 big injuries. Naz Reid, a left wrist fracture in late March. He was giving them 12 points a game. And then Jaden McDaniels, the broken right hand, after he punched the wall in the regular season finale. 3 on the way, no for Edwards, who's got 19. Karl Towns likely to finish as the game's leading scorer with 28. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander not on the floor right now for Oklahoma City has 22. Edwards, baseline, kick out. Prince, right wing 3, no. The shot clock expires. And Trey Mann is into the game for the first time as Mark Daignault goes a little bit deeper on his bench. Mann, a no-look over-the-shoulder pass, gets intercepted by Prince, who lays it up at the right side and puts it short. It's a little sloppy here. 4 minutes to go. 111-88. This game all but decided. Jang at the left side tries to score over his fellow Frenchman Gobert. Doesn't get the contact or the foul, but it is a timeout taken by Minnesota with 3:53 to go.
Rim protection has been evident all night for the Timberwolves. They're changing shots, blocking shots. It makes it much tougher to drive and get anything good with that kind of size standing in your way. The Timberwolves team, people were like, yeah, they're kind of falling apart now. No one was surprised by them losing to the Lakers. It looked like they had that game under control, but fell apart offensively. Tonight, a much better game offensively, just in terms of their decision-making, attacking the matchups, exploiting those matchups, using their size, getting inside and scoring in the paint. And when they play like that and they're decisive with it, the Thunder couldn't do anything about it. The Thunder made a valiant effort. They had their pushes here and there, but Yeah, it's tough to defeat a team that is as decisive as Chris Fitch and the Timberwolves have been tonight.
And there is hope for this Minnesota fan base, too. You walk around the concourse here at the Target Center, you're likely to see almost a 1-to-1 ratio of jerseys for players who used to play for the team versus ones who currently play for the team.
And one other thing about the Timberwolves, it's been really balanced scoring. Mike Conley's got 24 points. He's got 14 points.
Plus-minus is 24.
His plus-minus is 24. Karl-Anthony Towns is 28. Gobert is 21. Anderson off the bench has played well.
And a traveling call, Nathan Knight, in his third year out of William and Mary, gets called for the turnover. Josh Minot is also into the game here for the first time for the Timberwolves, as both teams will go much deeper on their benches. With 3:35 to go, 111-88 is the lead for Minnesota. Lindy Waters, 3 off the front rim. So the Timberwolves now will have back-to-back playoff trips for the first time since a run of 8 straight from 1997 to 2004. They've only gone twice in the last 18 seasons. Minot angled right to the top of the key, puts up the 3 and hits. Doesn't seem to matter who it is tonight.
It's a funny-looking jumper, but it went in. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right. Thunder at the left end, and a foul on Alexander Walker with exactly 3 minutes to go. Here comes Austin Rivers into the game, along with Wendell Moore, the rookie out of Duke.
I think for the Timberwolves, this is the kind of win they needed for team morale and the psyche and the attitude. It's a great team win, a feel-good win. Guys were smiling. They're styling on the Thunder a little bit. The bigs get into it. Kyle Anderson and Gobert high-fiving each other. Like, everybody's feeling good. Winning cures all.
Crowd just chanted, "We want Denver." Jeremiah Robinson Earl hits the triple. Second-year pro out of Villanova. 114-91, 2:45 to go. Standing between Minnesota and a date with the Nuggets Sunday night.
Be careful what you wish for as Minot scores inside. And the Nuggets are really good, and I mean really good. And Nikola Jokic is a problem.
At the bucket left end, put in there by Ousmane Dieng, the former 11th overall pick by the Knicks last year, sent to Oklahoma City in exchange for 3 draft picks. Rivers in the far side corner, 15 on the shot clock. He drives to the elbow, floats it across the court for Moore. Played 3 seasons at Duke. Rivers with the right angle, on the drive against Waters, puts it up and scores off the window. 2 minutes to go, 118-93. So this Minnesota team will be going into Denver, chasing down the dreams of a 2003-2004 Timberwolves team that finished its season in the Western Conference Finals. Kevin Garnett, Latrell Sprewell, Sam Cassell, all part of that team almost 20 years ago. 2 to shoot, and Dieng clanks it off the backboard into the hands of the Timberwolves. 90 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. And Rivers lost it on the baseline out of bounds. Back to OKC. Go back to the first quarter. Largest lead in this game for Oklahoma City was 5. They started off 4 of 4 from the floor. What do you think was the biggest change in either the late first quarter, early second, where Minnesota started to take control?
Minnesota just started going inside more. They're attacking the matchups that favor them and exploiting the size or lack of size that the Thunder have. And once they started doing that, the Thunder didn't really have an answer. They played off a double team. They started cutting. They started moving the ball. They got great looks as Minot misses and draws the foul. But offensively, they were just so much better consistently tonight. Right? You had great offense for a lot of the game against the Lakers, and you stopped moving, you stopped cutting, stopped taking advantage of the matchups that favor you in the fourth quarter against the Lakers. Tonight, that wasn't the case. They did it the whole game and just made it tough on the Thunder.
You can slow down speed, which Oklahoma City has, but you cannot neutralize height at the rim.
Right. Especially if you're as agile, if your height is as agile as Gobert was tonight. And that man was beating people down the floor. You can't be bigger and faster than the Thunder.
21 points for Gobert, 6 of 11 from the floor. Game high 28 for Karl Anthony Towns. 15 points in the first half. 13 of those in the second. 19 for Anthony Edwards. And on the opposite side for Oklahoma City, which turns it over, starts a break for Minnesota, which almost nearly turns it over. Knight gets called for a double dribble there.
You had people in the fans signaling double dribble. He's on your team. You're not supposed to be rooting against him.
22 for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and 17 each for Lou Dort and Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara. Jang for the right angle. Swerves to the basket, lays it up and in. Promising player for them in years to come. Well, Oklahoma City will be denied its first trip to the playoffs since the bubble in 2020. They scored 118 a game, fifth best in the NBA. They will not hit 100 tonight. 120-95. McLaughlin dribbling out the shot clock here, and he's not going to put one up. He'll just take the shot clock violation and give it back to Oklahoma City with 13 seconds to go.
Austin Rivers is mad. He wanted him to shoot it and not take the turnover.
And on the last possession, he was working the refs to try and get a foul call. Dude, you're going to the playoffs. It's all good.
Right.
Trey Mann stands at the logo, dribbles out the clock for Oklahoma City and the season as well. Final score tonight, Timberwolves 120 and the Thunder 95. The Minnesota Timberwolves, who finished 42-40 in the regular season, have their ticket to the playoffs. They will start their postseason trip in Denver Sunday night, 10 Eastern, against the number 1 seed Denver Nuggets. Our playoff coverage continues tomorrow on ESPN Radio. Cavs-Knicks, 6 Eastern is the tip time for that game. Mark Tessinger and PJ Carlissimo will have that for you. And then Sunday, Game 1 in Memphis, the Lakers and the Grizzlies. 3 Eastern is the start time for that game. Sean Kelly and Corey Alexander will be on the call.
Give it to the Timberwolves. They pounded them down low, and they kept doing it. And that really opened up and unlocked the rest of their offense. Anthony Edwards, much better game tonight, just more impactful overall. Think about his 10 rebounds, his 6 assists. I'm talking about the 19 points. Like, he made a lot happen. He made a lot of hockey assists, driving it in there, putting pressure on the defense, and making the right passes. So they got it done. This is kind of when they need a good team win, good for the soul.
Well, Rudy Gobert